Hello, everybody. This is Drop In, Drop Out, the weekly podcast where a mix of 7 gamers come together for an open and engaging conversation about video games. Tonight, we're talking about love. Any love enjoyers here on my cast? Patrick.
Oh yeah, I love love. Can I just say, big fan of love? Can I say that on this podcast?
No.
Big fan.
Kayla says no. Kayla, how are you doing tonight?
I love Jake. I'm ready to just schmooze about some video game couples, I'm excited to talk about games to play with your partner. I'll be honest. I have some fun stories that I am excited to share.
Hell yeah.
Very nice. And speaking of love, I love CognitiveClips. How are you doing over there, Jordan?
Oh, buddy, I love you. I'm trying to stay alive. The flu has been trying to murder me for about a straight week and a half. Yeah, week and a half at this point. But it's not winning. I'm here.
It's not winning.
All right.
But you know who is winning? You at home listening or watching this on YouTube or on your favorite podcast app, or perhaps you're here live in our chat. I see High Score Weekly. I see Cirrus Shard. I see Mr. The Human Plays. I see Mr. Treehorn. That's 2 misters in here.
Whoa.
We love to see it. Thank you guys all for being here. Now, if you're wondering, what's this guy doing in the top left corner? Why is Jake talking so much? This is the guy who just says meta 4 out of 10 Refantasio. Well, every once in a while, we're going to have a different host. Even though Patrick's real good at it, we need to bring the chaos. So for episode 3, we said, who better to host the love episode of Drop In, Drop Out than the only single person on the cast? So here we are making it happen. But it won't just be love, because here at Drop In, Drop Out, we're kind of an umbrella. This is the Drop In, Drop Out podcast, but there's so many other things happening all the time. Maybe you've seen us reacting to the PlayStation State of Play over on YouTube. Perhaps you caught our extra bonus podcast, State of, what did I call that? It was very clever. State of Pain. Yep. That might be it. Maybe you are a Spotlight Games podcast listener or a JK Games podcast listener. Maybe you're a JakeTwitchin regular. Maybe you're watching sweet video essays over there on youtube.com/@cognitive underscore. Is there an underscore or something in there?
Cognitive clips. Yeah.
Hyphen clips. We love this. There's always so much going on here. But for tonight, for episode 3, not only will we be talking about love in a big, bad way, we will also be digging into some of the stuff that we've been playing at the end of the show. So I encourage you all to stick around. The idea is that towards the end, we will start to explore some of these new releases, because God damn, it feels like October, November in the middle of February. We're going to be talking about Warriors Abyss that shadow dropped yesterday, Avowed, which hit early access today, Civ 7, which is a brand new release, a game about digging a hole, taking the internet by storm. We'll dig into Rift and Eternal Strands as well. All that and so much more, because you never know what I've been playing too. Perhaps I've been playing the time-honored classic Psychonauts, and I want to talk about it real badly. That is exactly what's happening.
Hell yeah.
I want to start things off with a curveball. My lovely co-hosts here, Kayla, Patrick, CognitiveClips. I haven't told you about this.
Let's go.
But I'm very excited. Yeah, perfect. Get in the mood. If you're a video enjoyer, you might have the opportunity to take a little peek at what I'm going to be showing here. But with it being the love episode, I wanted to treat everybody here to a good old-fashioned game of Smash or Pass.
Let's go.
Now, we just transitioned. For audio listeners, I will be sure to lead this conversation in the right way. And also, if you're here live in chat, I'm going to need to see some smashes or passes, some S's and P's, to know what you think right off the jump. So we're going to start off with Cloud Strife. Patrick, smash or pass?
This is a clear pass for me. And I want to start by saying it's not because he's male. I'm going to be smashing some dudes, I'm sure. In this.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody clip that, please.
There's a couple things, though, that about Cloud that don't work for me. How far do you want me to go down the hole here, Jake?
That's a question for Kyle,
You're asking the
probably.
right person about holes right now because I'm trying to go deep, baby. It's the love episode.
A couple things. Mr. The Human Plays gets one of them. He says too complicated. It's not that he's too complicated. It's that he doesn't know how to navigate his own feelings. I need a proud king that stands in his fucking ground and says, "This is how I feel." So that's number one. Two, I don't love the spiky hair.
Okay.
This man's not going to therapy for sure.
Right. This dude needs so much therapy. Now the turtleneck doing something for me. Can I just say? But those other two things are a little too much for me. So this is a pass for me.
CognitiveClips. Talk to me.
Yeah, it's a pass for me too.
Okay.
I've never played the entirety of any FF7 variations. That's just one of my gaming blind spots. But like every single clip I see of him from these remakes, I'm like, this sounds like the most deadpan, boring person I've ever heard speak in my life.
Kayla,
I'm including
save
Jake.
us.
Listen, if anyone's gonna know anything about me and my taste, I love an emo moody king.
Yes.
So we're smashing, baby. We're smashing.
Easy smash. I see some passes in chat. I see some smashes in chat. Patrick, what you got for us?
I was gonna say I see first time chatter Jammy AF saying that spiky hair does something when he's downstairs.
Oh, I can only imagine. As you can imagine, that is a smash for me. Now, I also have transition slides now. I would like to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog, but not just any Sonic the Hedgehog. This is movie Sonic the Hedgehog. This is ultra realistic Sonic the Hedgehog. It is revised movie Sonic the Hedgehog. It's not the original one. Kayla,
the Ben Schwartz Sonic.
This is Ben Schwartz. This is Benny Schwartz.
Me first?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. I'm gonna be honest, this makes me a little uncomfy. So because this is, I think of my childhood when I see Sonic, even hyper realistic Sonic. Unfortunately, now I think of the pregnant Sonic meme, which I can't unsee. So I'm gonna have to do a big old pass on this one.
CognitiveClips, are we passing?
We're passing the interspecies aspect of it is I'm getting hung up on it. He would make me laugh, I'm sure.
Sure. Okay, cowards. Patrick?
So I was so prepared to say smash. I was so ready for it. And then Mr. the Human Plays reminded me he's a literal child in the movie.
Okay, we're the first ones to sexualize Sonic. You're right. Let's go ahead to the next one.
Well, this is specifically the movie Sonic.
What is this?
I believe I might be Hammy. Is it Hammy?
I think it's Hammy. I
think it's
Peggle.
Hammy. Yeah, he's a skateboarding gopher or beaver from Peggle.
One of the best powers in Peggle. This is an easy smash. Can I also just say, Jake, you're not chiming in. What's that about?
Oh, smash on everything so far.
Okay, great. But this is a clear smash for me, partially because from what I remember in Peggle, he has one of the best powers. I don't remember what that power is. I just remember using this fucker all the time.
I think it's bonus ball. I think you smash into him and he just shoots another ball out.
Ooh, yeah. Peggle.
Perfect.
All capital Peg and Peggle from Mr. the Human
CognitiveClips, how are you feeling about Hammy?
Uncomfortable.
Okay, yeah. Kayla?
But I will, get a couple of beers in me. We'll talk.
Yeah, see, that's
what those teeth do.
Right, exactly.
Can I chime in really fast again to,
of course,
get the record straight? Peggle Wiki seems to say his name is Jimmy.
Jimmy, that sounds right.
Jimmy Lightning is a Peggle master.
Okay, yeah. Kayla, Jimmy Lightning doing anything for you?
I'm gonna do an enthusiastic pass. Like I want to be his bestie pal, but I don't know if I'm in the Smash territory.
I get it. Smash for me. This is Clive. I guess speak now if it's a pass. Any of you.
Okay.
Everybody here is smashing. Let the record show.
Speaking of a king who knows what his feelings are and isn't afraid to show them.
And
exactly.
Yeah, and just thinking of like the dirty talk in that voice. Come on, dude.
Joshua, you do things to me. Oh wait, no, that's his brother.
Yeah, no, Joshua's the brother. His child brother.
Joshua, why are you here?
Never mind.
All right, we have the titular Metroid. This is Metroid from Metroid. This is a joke. I know her name is Samus Aran.
Yeah, Suit stays on here, I think.
Yeah,
correct?
Stays on. I could have put Zero Suit Samus. I chose not to. CognitiveClips, smash or pass?
Smash. Tall metal mommy, step on me, please.
Tall Metal Mommy. Kayla, smash or pass?
Tall Metal Mommy, we stand. First female in this lineup. I'm here to smash. We love to see it.
We love to see it. Patrick, smash or pass?
Is there a level above smash?
No.
All right, then I'm gonna have to say smash. Tall
Excellent.
Metal Mommy, step on me, please.
Chat, high score weekly, smash. Jonesy Simba, smash. Mr. Treehorn, smash. Dan Good Show, smash. Mr. The Human Plays, pass. She'd smash me though. Sirius Shard, the suit stays on. Yeah, you all understand. We love this. Okay. This is a little bit of a stretch. This is Jack Skellington. This is his Kingdom Hearts 2 likeness. He is a lanky boy. But that might do it for somebody. Like perhaps Patrick.
The length is concerning because I know he's got length in all the right and wrong places.
Correct.
Very bony as well. It might be a little too bony for me, but I'm sure it'd be a nice conversation. So I think maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll give him a gentle smash, but he's on thin ice.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Cognitive Clips, smash or pass on Jack Skellington?
Man. I don't know.
I think he's a tender lover.
Look at
I
that
think
face.
he has a choice. I think if he's not tender, then he's gonna fall apart. Like where's the sinew? You know, where's the muscle?
Yeah,
I feel like there's also
I think it's a pass.
I think there's also implications that he might not know his way around the bedroom because he's always trying to learn things. What's this? What's this? Like all that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
He's a bit of a bumbling fool, but that can be interesting. Maybe we could teach him and guide him.
Sure.
Kayla, what do you say?
I have to say that this man's nickname is Bone Daddy for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Let's get with the program. You guys taking too
Bone
long.
Daddy.
Bone Daddy.
We love an ambitious man, a man who knows what is going on. Like, sure, he may not understand all the aspects of the world. He's curious.
Yeah, true.
You know, it's curiosity.
Cole Vines in chat says, this is the basis of a hear me out cake. And Jonesing Simba says, is this necrophilia? Which I say, kind of.
All right, moving on.
Yes to both.
All right.
We love a curious lover.
Rapid fire round. Patrick, smash or pass?
Smash.
This is Bowser from Mario.
Smash.
Cognitive Clips, smash or pass?
Smash.
Kayla.
Smash. This is spikes for me.
This is all smash all day. This is Big Man Blastoise. Smash or pass? Patrick?
Easy smash.
Cognitive Clips.
I'm a pass because of the debatable, does he know enough about what's happening to
He's very smart.
It's too wet.
I see you've reached a crossroads. Kayla, smash or pass?
What are his thoughts on gun rights?
Bro, if they're built into you.
We're gonna pass. I'm unsure. I'm unsure.
Okay.
If you evolve with them, we're good, is what he says.
Right. All right. Doom Guy, rapid fire round. Kayla, smash or pass?
Smash.
Cognitive Clips, smash or pass?
Smash.
Patrick.
I think this is a pass for me, actually.
Yeah, this is fair. This is I'm still all smashes all the time. This one I want
Smash.
This is Shigeru Miyamoto. I just want to treat him with respect. So if he wants it, he can have it.
Yeah.
Patrick says 111 smash. Cognitive Clips, yes.
Yes.
He's
a legend.
Kayla?
Pass. I'm concerned. He looks like a pawpaw.
Yeah, he is a bit of a pawpaw.
There he is.
This is Scyther from Pokemon. Rapid fire round. Smash or pass, Patrick?
That's an easy smash.
That's an easy smash. All right. Cognitive Clips.
Pass.
Kayla?
I'm gonna say smash. I'm smashing.
Yeah. You know what? It's something about the sharp, jagged edges there. Okay, we're gonna come back to this later on in the show because I've got some bangers stored away here. But I wanted to get into our first actual love topic. Also, we all know it's just smashes all around for Shadow. Shadow is he's just hot, okay?
Yeah.
He just is. I don't make the rules.
It's like taking candy from a baby, which is fine by me.
So true. We are going to go over 4 topics today that have to do with love. But our first one is, I think, a really fun one because I think it's something that we all have experience with. And it's the best games to play with a loved one. Co-op games. Or multiplayer games, depending on however you interpret it. I think there's no wrong answer. I wanted to throw this out to everybody. We did a very good job this time of there are no spoilers. We don't have any like B-roll set up or anything like that ahead of time. I'll be pulling that live, which should be fun and adventurous for us. So that being the case, everything that each person on the panel brings up today will be brand new options. We'll also grab some stuff from chat live and, of course, from the Discord, which you can join by going to dropindropoutpod.com and submit your own answers for our prompts and questions every single week if you'd like to be featured on the show. So let's start off with Cognitive Clips, best games to play with a loved one.
I have some pretty fond memories. So my wife is not really a console gamer. Like she's got a couple like mobile games that she really loves and that she's been playing for like the past decade. But real fond memories of playing some like Little Big Planet, like 1 and 2, because like those games were not only were they just charming as all get out, but like they were very like easy to jump into. And if you're asking me, which I have the floor, so shut up. I think that kind of stopped starting with Little Big Planet 3. Like I was so excited for that game to come out because like at that point I think we were married or at least engaged and like living together and stuff. And like we like pre-ordered it and picked it up. And it was like, first of all, I didn't think that the writing was as good. And then like the controls were a little bit more complex. It was like asking a bit more than just like jumping with the occasional hanging on to something. It was like a little bit too like, too much for a very, very casual gamer like her. And so I was like, this is kind of a bummer. I'm kind of sad that I wasted money on this because I
totally agree with you on 3.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad. I've never really talked about. I've never talked about this before with anybody. So. This is good. This is healing.
All right, listen, I'm a 3 defender. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see the big difference in quality that a lot of people talk about, if I'm being honest. Like, I think that it was still just more Little Big Planet that I was happy to play, and I played it again with friends, not with a partner at that time, but I just wanted to speak up for LBP3.
Sure.
I'm into it.
I think part of it for me was, it doesn't necessarily agree exactly with what Cog was saying, but I felt like it was kind of that like, okay, we've seen enough. And you're not, sure. I feel like they tried to reimagine it with Swoopy and the other one whose name I didn't read on the B-roll. But it didn't feel like it was reinventing itself enough for me. And I felt like, because by that point we had also played Little Big Planet on the Vita. So we've had 3 Little Big Planet games. This is really the 4th one. So it's like, I'm just kind of tired of doing the same thing over and over personally.
Yeah. And I feel like just on my earlier point, I feel like the boss battles were like a lot more like actually skill based than anything that they ever threw at you in the first 2 games, unless I'm just completely misremembering what the first 2 games were like. But
that sounds right.
Yeah, I don't remember well enough to. So I'm ready to agree. Whatever you say,
yeah.
I agree with.
Good pick.
I like that about you.
Pick.
Anything.
Other than a lot of those Smash Pass choices, I didn't agree with those.
Well, Kayla, co-op games or games to play with a loved one.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start out I have a couple different answers, but one is not your traditional couch co-op game. But from what I've heard, I think this is kind of common. But Until Dawn is a really fun game to pass the controller back and forth with your loved one. When my husband and I first started dating, we played Until Dawn, and it's just really fun to kind of see the different choices that any kind of choice-based game, especially one like this where it's like the horror and this person will die or this person will die. It's just fun to kind of see what your partner will do and discuss the story as you go, the narrative. So that one is one that we really liked to play early on in our relationship and see the vast difference in choices that each person would make.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Until Dawn is definitely a good one. You should try it out.
That's a good
The
pick.
Quarry, also good for that.
Yeah.
The Quarry.
And Operation 8043, the new game that was announced at the PlayStation State of Play.
Yeah.
Anyone know the actual name of that game?
It's something 80-20.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah. Very good. Very
Where
good.
did I write
Very
it
good.
here?
We're so good at this.
God, my handwriting is so bad.
We are
Something along
gamers.
those lines.
Directive 80-20.
Directive 80-20. But I didn't think about that. And like I think there's like a I'm not a horror person, but I know like horror movies in a lot of relationships is like a big, like kind of a cozy thing to do together. I can see that all kind of working together, which is pretty cool. Patrick, what do you have for a nice co-op experience with a loved one?
You know, when you called on Kayla first, I was afraid that maybe she'd be the first one to bring it up, but she didn't. So I'm thrilled that for the love episode, I get to be the first one to bring up The Last of Us, but specifically The Last of Us Part 2. Now, you might be in the chat or listening, driving your car, thinking The Last of Us or The Last of Us Part 2. What do you mean? Go to twitch.tv/SpotlightGamespot or youtube.com/@SpotlightGamespot. We got a whole series of me and Rose playing The Last of Us Part 2. We had a great time. Now, maybe that's a very specific experience because we did it on stream, but I loved playing that game with her. I thought that was a really fun and like not your average, I think, choice for this kind of a thing. I'm sure someone's going to talk about Overcooked. I'm sure someone's going to talk about Portal 2, but like, I feel like that was one of those for me where there's so much death in this game. There's so much darkness in this game.
Wow.
What better thing to experience with a loved one than the absolute worst possible things in life for you guys to get through together?
You know, you make a pretty good point, and this is a very off kilter one, I think, but it is something that I had written down here on mine. Is I wrote like any game that I'm really passionate about, you know, like there's something about sharing the stuff that you really like, even if it's not really like a multiplayer thing. Because I've dated both gamers and non-gamers, and despite that, gaming has been a part of every one of those like lasting relationships because it's such a big deal to me. So there's been multiple occasions where, you know, if I'm dating a gamer, they might show me a series that they're really into, or if I'm not dating a gamer, I'll show them a series that I'm really into. I can't count how many times I've tried to sell somebody on Kingdom Hearts because she likes Disney movies, and I'm like, whoa, buckle up, miss.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really go that well.
How do you feel about greens, drops, and distances?
Why is he single?
I got
That
something for
sounds
you.
so fun.
Do you ever try giving them a version of their name with an X in it? Maybe that's the missing link.
No, I haven't. But that's a pretty good idea. I think that's maybe the missing part here. Maybe that's why it's all not working out.
I think to actually be serious though, I think you make a very good point of like there is something special about sharing something that you're passionate with. If I can go again, if we can just loop this back. Another one I was going to say
wait. Did Jake go?
No, it's okay. I got plenty. We can go.
I'm just because this is a good segue for my next one.
It's a good segue.
Stardew Valley, and which is something that she's super passionate about. She's put in over 1,000 hours in that game across different consoles, and then we've only done a couple streams of it, but that was also one that I just really enjoyed streaming with her. And it's like there have been several times we've not actually done it, but there have been several times just like a Sunday we're not doing anything, and I'm like, should we play Stardew? And then we haven't anytime because like we've ended up doing other things, but it's a really fun game to play. And I think that's what I didn't think of earlier when I was making these lists was that her being able to be like, oh no, you need to go here. You need to do this. If you talk to this person, if you go to this place, like that, being able to share the passion, I think is a really special, fun thing.
Yeah, I agree. Sure. And I was gonna jump into the Stardew conversation more, but something tells me this isn't the last we'll hear about Stardew tonight. Probably so not. We'll move on. We'll move on from there. And I feel like the low hanging fruit here hasn't been taken yet. So I'm gonna go. It Takes Two.
Sure.
Doesn't that? I mean, I feel like they kind of revolutionized it. Like that is such an alley-oop for a good co-op game. The only problem is, honestly, that game is kind of difficult. Like as a platformer, there's some sections in there where like I wanted to throw my controller through the fucking wall as I was trying to teach somebody how to play. Because I played it the first time on stream with a friend, but then I tried playing it a year later with somebody that I was dating. And again, not a gamer, not a good idea. Yeah. But I think if you're both gamers, if you're both capable, if you have good hand-eye coordination, you can pull off It Takes Two. That's for sure.
Rose and I played most of It Takes Two together. I bet if we played it now, she would have no problem with it. But I remember there being some frustration with It Takes Two. But this was before she had played The Last of Us. This is before she had played like anything on stream. So yeah, that was a pain point for her, and honestly, at times for me. And I'm like, I remember specifically having times of like, oh, I'm struggling with this, and I've been playing games for like nearly 30 years. So
Right.
Yeah,
I guess
for sure.
which isn't the best experience.
Yeah, it can be a little difficult, but
Yeah.
I think that's a really good one.
too.
Kayla, do you have another one?
I will say, with that in mind, I haven't played It Takes Two. It's definitely on my list to
Ooh.
play with my husband. My husband is a gamer. I didn't clarify before I went into my first pick. He does play more. He likes the more like RPG, like narrative-driven style game. But every once in a while, I can give him a little horror nugget or something like that, and we'll play it together. But I'm also really excited for Split Fiction for that exact reason too. I'm very excited to see that. And someone in the chat, Cole Mines, actually called that out as well. Definitely gonna be a good game to play with a friend, a partner, whatever. My next one is gonna be. It was mentioned. Actually, no, I'm gonna give you a little curveball. This one's also on my list.
Ooh.
Game to play with your loved one. Play some Fortnite with your loved one, man. Play some Fortnite. That is it's a fun time. And let me just tell you, me and my husband. Now it's not like a co-op game. Obviously, it's an online game. But it is fun to just like get in a duo squad and just talk. Like it's a game where you're gonna have to, obviously it's a battle royale. You're gonna be fighting people. But the load times are not long. You have to walk around a lot to get to the inner circle to not get killed by the storm. And so we will literally just walk around while we're playing this game and just talk while we're on a journey to fight some folks. And it's just fun.
Love it.
They're big battle royale fans in this household. So.
Yeah, Dan Goodshow in the chat. That's he thinks that playing Fortnite with his wife is a better way to spend his time than tuning into Spotlight Games on Tuesday nights. So
My fucking dog. Call him the fuck out. Hell yeah, dog. Fuck the Dan Goodshow. No, I'm just kidding. I love him very much.
No, Dan is awesome. We're so glad he's here. Please don't leave.
Please don't leave. We love him. I think you're a great streamer.
That's so fun.
Incredible. CognitiveClips, do you have an additional one?
Of course. I did want to, this isn't my next pick, but I did want to, you were mentioning sharing your passion or whatever. And so when I was playing back through Neva for the, who knows, time to get the platinum. And this is a light spoiler for Neva. If you have, I'm not going to spoil the entire lead up, but in the fall section with the big tree, if you've played it, you know what I'm talking about. It's like one of my favorite moments that like, the gameplay, the music is just so incredible. And so I texted my wife like, oh, can you come down here? Yeah. So I was like, I really want to show you this, like how intense this part is. It's like really, really cool, with the music and the visuals, blah, blah, blah. And so it's like really cool to like, just like, hey babe, come watch this. I know you don't really care about games or anything. And since this is the love episode, later she was like, I thought that was like a booty call text, but you were just trying to show me the video game.
A booty call, you say?
I just wanted to
did my buzzer work?
There it is. I heard it.
Booty call buzzer.
Oh man. But back to like actual co-op with loved ones. I'm glad that we expanded that to not just significant others, because something lately that's been a lot of fun is playing Super Mario Wonder with the kids. Literally the first thing my son said walking the door, like, can we play the Yoshi game? Can we play the Yoshi game? That's what they call it. I'm like, yeah, man. Hang on. Let me change out my work clothes for a second, bruh. But
Come on, bruh. Back on, bruh.
Back off, bruh.
There's even been at least one instance where they've, there's been like several where the kids have convinced Ellen to hop in too. And so, because you can be up to 4 players, obviously couch co-op for Mario Wonder. And for the kids, it's nice because if you don't already know, there's 4 different colored Yoshis and also the Nabbit character that all don't take damage. And so like you can still fall off ledges and get squished by the moving level or whatever, that kind of thing, to turn into a ghost. But like as far as just running into a Koopa or a Goomba or whatever, like they don't have to worry about getting hurt. They're just trying to jump around and have fun.
Yeah.
So anytime, and we're always the same colored Yoshi. So anytime that we're out in public and they see any sort of Yoshi merchandise with one of the colors, like, oh look, it's Mommy Yoshi. Oh look, it's Daddy Yoshi.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
cute.
Very nice. Well,
it's
what a perfect segue you didn't know that you were setting up.
Yes.
Smash or pass on Elephant Mario?
No.
Chat Chat, sound off. I already had created this before. It was in there. All I had to do was scroll. Let's go.
W's to
CognitiveClips.
Jake for this idea.
W in chat. Oh my
Nobody knew that this
god.
was a
I'm
thing.
about to die over here from coughing from this.
Patrick, Smasher Pass.
Yeah, come on, dude. Fucking smash me all night, brother.
You got that right. CognitiveClips, Smasher Pass.
It's a literal smash, and if he doesn't say "wowie zowie" at the moment, of
Wowie
climax, then
zowie.
it's a deal breaker. Wowie
Yeah,
zowie.
so true. So true. Kayla, Smasher Pass.
Smash in solidarity. You know?
Yeah.
I
I
smash
like
in
it.
solidarity.
I love that. I love that. That's the right attitude to have.
A lot of
Very
people
nice.
saying what that trunk do, and that's
Yeah,
What
that's
that
a
trunk
valid
do is a
question.
very good question. A very good question. I have just let's just do like a one last time. If you want to speak up, feel free to speak up. The things that I have left on my list are beat 'em ups, things like Castle Crashers or Streets of Rage or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection is usually a pretty fun, simple romp to get through. Can be really fun. I have Portal 2 on my
Portal 2
list.
is a great.
Yeah, that is like one of the all-time great co-op games, if you ask me.
One of the
And
first,
especially,
sorry,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think maybe one of the first, if not the first game I ever played with Rose back in like 2010.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great, and I love that that is not like. What's nice about Portal 2 is that it is a single player experience that is completely separate from the co-op experience. That is a like bespoke experience that was made for 2 people and only 2 people. The single player game is completely different. A very, very good pull. And then the last one that I have written down for myself is MMOs in general, like a World of Warcraft or a Final Fantasy 14. I'm sure there's 1,000 different options there too. Some of you old heads would say EverQuest and the newbies would say New World, but running around those zones and playing house and leveling up together and fighting raid bosses and running dungeons and things like that can be really, really fun to do in a duo for sure.
I also read
who else
that,
has something?
especially for if it's like couples game night sort of situation, or just a bunch of loved ones that are just your best pals. Like Jackbox, come on. Like,
Oh yeah.
so many things.
Yeah, good call.
Like almost any time that the in-laws are over for any sort of like holiday function, we usually at some point pop downstairs and throw on some Quiplash 3 and just like type out the most unhinged answers to these problems. Like
sure.
it's a great time.
Yeah.
I think party games in general. I think also like all of the like Mario sports and party games, whether it's just Mario Party or like tennis or golf or kart, like all of those I think are really good games to play with a partner, or like Cog said, just like a group of your most loved ones. Easy.
Yep.
GG. Easy.
All right. Let's move on to our next big topic. If anybody has anything else, I think we can do a little something for the lonely hearts out there. Because listen, Valentine's Day, sometimes you don't have anybody to share it with. Sometimes love stinks. But don't worry. Us out here at Drop In, Drop Out are going to take care of you too. What's a game that got you through some tough times? I have it framed here as games for getting through a breakup. Okay? Which I think is pretty profound.
Sure.
And I have some like interesting things that like I've experienced personally, and then I have one in particular that I'm going to lead with, if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah.
That I really am passionate about, being like probably one of the all-time greatest breakup games, or games about. Can you guys think of any games about a breakup?
I can think of one game about a breakup.
What is it?
It's called Florence.
Oh,
Ooh, I've played that. I love that.
I'm pretty sure that's about a breakup, or is it about a relationship?
I
think it's about a breakup.
I would say it's about a breakup. Yeah.
Interesting. I had no idea. The game that I brought that is about a breakup is truthfully one of my favorite games of all time. I adore this so much. This is a game called Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Ooh,
have you guys ever heard of this game? Has any of you guys played it?
Yeah, it's a good game.
I adore this game. This game is plugged as the world's first ever video game album. And
Ooh.
it was made music first with the idea of a game to be built around it. And it's
Ooh.
all original music, mostly by someone named Daniel Olson is the composer and the like producer of the vast majority of the tracks, and does a bunch of like the vocals as well. And this game opens up with a poem narrated by Queen Latifah about a girl going through a breakup, and then takes a musical journey through the lens of a rhythm game about kind of, getting it back together after some hard times. And it is truly one of my favorite gaming experiences that's ever existed. I cannot recommend this game enough. This game absolutely rules. I love the music in it. It is like a pop synthy album, kind of like a very like Charlie XCX or Carly Rae Jepsen core, I guess, would probably be the best way to put that together. We do. And I like, this is such an easy recommendation for anybody, lonely or not, to just go play this game. You can buy it on sale for like $8 on every single console. And when you see it, the next time you just want to like watch like a movie or a TV show, go play Sayonara Wild Hearts instead, and then leave it in the comments about how much you loved it.
Yeah. I played Sayonara Wild Hearts. It launched on Apple Arcade. Excuse me.
Right.
When Apple Arcade launched, that was one of its launch games. And I remember playing a little bit of it, and I was like, I love this. I need to go play this on a TV, on a console. And I never did. So I've never finished Sayonara Wild Hearts, but I really loved what I did of it. So I should do that.
It's awesome. It sticks the landing too.
Yeah.
Also, games about a breakup. Thirsty Suitors from the Dan Good Show is mentioned. The Mrs. Good says Thirsty Suitors. And then High Score Weekly with a very excellent suggestion, which I will go for. Day of the Devs VOD from like 4 years ago. The composer of that game did an acoustic set, which is very, very cool. I will be checking that out, no doubt. All right, let's toss it around. Best games to get you through some hard times. Kayla, let's start with you. You got something for us?
Yes, and you may not see this, depending on how you want to handle your breakup or your hard time. Sometimes you just need to cry it out, Sometimes you need to embrace the feelings, all the feelings, whether positive or negative. You feel your feelings, you people, if you're watching and you're having a hard time. We stand. You should play Life is Strange. Take your pick on which one. You should play Life is Strange, the remastered collection, or specifically the one that comes to mind for me is True Colors. It's a very beautiful and like hopeful game. There are definitely some points in any Life is Strange game where your main character is experiencing some lows. True Colors is one that it's beautiful. It's not necessarily directly connected to the rest of the franchise. So if you haven't played any other Life is Strange games, this is an easy one to pick up and kind of just start from there. I think you should play that, and you might cry a little, but you'll have a fun time while you're doing it. So that would be my choice.
True Colors is so good.
It's so good.
Great pull. I haven't played that. I'm a huge Life is Strange fan, but I'm new to it right now. I've only played Life is Strange 1 before the Storm, which was like the expansion, and then Double Exposure, because up until this point they were kind of anthology. I know there's some connections, I know. So I have 2 in True Colors I'm going to do after I get through Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, which will kind of fill that void for me. More on that in like, concerns to Dido very soon. I think we got some big Life is Strange fans that are going to be big on that energy. So we're going to try to bring you some content based around that game as it starts to come out over these next couple weeks.
Jake, I can't believe you've never played the best Life is Strange game.
Oh, that can't be true.
True Colors is absolutely the best Life is Strange game,
really?
In my opinion.
I would say it's up there. I haven't finished all of them either. I'm actually currently playing. I've played Double Exposure, Life is Strange 1, and Before the Storm, True Color. I guess the only one I'm missing is I need to finish Life is Strange 2, which is phenomenal so far.
Awesome. Kayla, good pick. Cognitive Clips. Let's go to you. Best one to get you through a hard time.
Yeah. Again, before I say this isn't connected to my picks, but just feel your feelings. There's ups and downs.
Wow.
Don't give in to the negativity and the Andrew Tate macho BS. If you're identify as male, like, feelings are valid. Don't let it suck you into that dark place. Like, find a friend, talk to somebody, play a game. It'll help.
Some games.
All right. That being said, some stuff as far as just like general tough times, like for me have been like the Zelda and the Horizon games.
Yeah.
Like, because not only do I just enjoy the stories and the gameplay, but also just like the ability to explore, see like beautiful things, and like, you know, you get those little dopamine hits like, oh, I found a secret, you know, little passage under the waterfall, or I found this little chest that was tucked away and I got a cool piece of armor, or whatever else it is. And like, I've probably said this on someone's podcast at some point in time, but like, after last year, I would say the most graphically impressive game I've ever played would be Hellblade 2: Senua's Saga. But before that, it was Horizon Forbidden West without any competition whatsoever.
Sure.
Like, yes, I'm aware Ghost of Tsushima exists, but like, as far as like actually through and through, like consistently beautiful, like impressive graphic fidelity, was Forbidden West. And there were two traversal aspects that they introduced in that game that were not in the first game that were like, pun intended, I guess, breathtaking to me. One was being able to explore like the underwater, like flooded areas, because they did this like, I mean, first of all, it was again just beautiful to explore, but like the music that went along with it, it almost had this like occasional like not quite Jaws musical sting, but it was kind of like a and it almost like reminded you of Jaws a little bit, but not like in a scary way, because you're like not really in like in a extreme danger necessarily. You're just like, you know, exploring around. But those like I remember literally at one point, like I don't know if it was just my depression trying to kick up again or whatever, but like I remember firing up the game as being like, I'm gonna find another underwater cave to explore because I just want to zone out for a bit. And it was like so soothing, like so weirdly soothing, which I know that's got to be weird for a lot of people because of, you know, thalassophobia and stuff, which I get it. Oceans are terrifying. But also, if on the flip side, though, is they also introduced the Sunwing creature, like machine, where you can like literally take it up into the clouds and stuff, which again, like just jaw dropping, like flying through this sunset in the clouds on this bird with the music kicking up. It's like, man, just lets you forget whatever was bringing you down and just like soak in that beauty that they created for us to enjoy.
Good pull. Yeah, I think there's something to be said about like a lot of my picks are like games to get lost in.
Yes.
You know, as a way of like, as whether it's breakup or not, like if you need to escape, if you need to get away from your feelings for a bit instead of feeling your feelings for a bit. I think there's so many games to get lost in, and this is certainly one of them. Such a vertical experience, both within the game and also kind of emotionally too.
Nice.
You guys were speaking so positively about this game, and there was such like a kind like reasoning behind it that I went the entire time without interrupting you and saying Horizon Zero fun. But now that the segment's over, am I right?
I'm so proud of you, Jake.
You gotta be true to yourself.
Take the high road and then lose it all, baby.
You have grown so much over these 3.5 and 2/4 and bonus episodes, you know. What is it, episode 7, episode 12?
I think we're finally good. I think we have passed the dark times of never knowing the episode. I think we're good, and we know that we're
we are. I had to lay into it a little, just one more time.
Just one.
Patrick, you got one for me? Games to get through a tough time.
I do. So originally, when you put it in the doc of like games going through a breakup, and similar to Cog, I've not had many breakups, thankfully, in my life. I've been with Rose for a very long time. Really, only dated one person before that, and it was in high school. So how about a breakup with the entire public world in 2020? Am I right? Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Yes.
I think is such a good pick for this, especially like if you can lean on your friends too, right? Like I remember so vividly the very first time that we had like a play date with like 7 of our friends. This would have been like April maybe, so we've not seen anybody in like 4 or 5 weeks, and we had all been so obsessed. If Cayman was here, Cayman could have talked about it because he was there that night. But yeah, it was like 7 or 8 of our friends, and we all came to my island, and we went to the museum, and we all like ran around and we took pictures, and we did all sorts of poses for things, and we were giving each other gifts, and it was just like it was the most like joyous night after so many weeks of just like, we all experienced it. It was fucking awful, COVID. So that I remember so vividly, and that was the very first thing I thought of about like breakup game. It was like different, but this for me, for sure. And then similar to that, Ghost of Tsushima came out a few months later. To Cog's point, a game you can just throw yourself into and like so big to get lost in. But yeah, Animal Crossing, because it's like there's always a task every day. There's always a task to do. It's like the best dissociation game there ever could be.
So, I leaned into that game a lot.
Yeah,
for sure. I get it. I'll kind of jump off that a little bit. Same time frame. I did have a breakup in early pandemic. It was too early, and we decided to bubble together, and we just kind of went for it. It didn't go so well. So like by like May, June of that weird era, which went on it was such a long time. 2020 was 1,000 years long. I really leaned into, similar to the Fortnite conversation that we were having earlier, games to play with, a loved one. I started playing a lot of Apex Legends with my homies. Just like me and 2 of my really close friends. All of us are, maybe one of us is working at that point. The other ones are all just like hanging out, and like pretty much like every day, 4 to 6 hours a day, we're just jumping onto Apex, shooting the shit like it's Xbox Live back in 2004, like Halo 2 days rekindled. And I think that can be a very like therapeutic way to get through, is like, double down, get back with the friends, hang out with them, take your mind off whatever's bugging you at that time.
Knock some heads,
Exactly. And then honestly, I didn't have much for this topic as far as like things, but I think this is very much like the same sort of way that you would share something that you really love, that you find comforting with somebody that you love when you're trying to show them something like Kingdom Hearts. That's also like a really good way for me to be like, let me just dig into a Kingdom Hearts full playthrough and get my mind off of all of this. Maybe my little Sora boy will get me through some hard times. And sure enough, it always does. Anybody else have any big ones for getting through breakups that wants to take the floor?
I have a couple other that I wrote down of a different, instead of, breaking up with the entire world in 2020. I'm the youngest of 5. So I thought of also the time when everyone had left the nest and I was home alone for the first time in my life at like 15, maybe. It's when I played Psychonauts for the first time. It's when I played I'd played Mass Effect 1 when some, like my brother still lived there, but then Mass Effect 2 and 3 I was in college, but a lot of the Assassin's Creed games, like those, again, throwing yourself into something, that came to me as well with this.
I have to mention now, I didn't play this one going through a breakup, but I do love a good fighting sequence with some intense music involved. So if you're going through a breakup, to just play the ending sequence of Control over and over again. Well, not quite the ending, but you guys know what I'm talking about if you play it.
Yes.
Control's a great game to play too. Like, it's definitely like it's an amazing game. It's beautiful, and some of the fighting scenes are really therapeutic, I think. So that would be my last one.
I've bought it 4 times.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I may as well just standard edition, of course, when I had my 1S, and then when I got the Series S or whatever, I was like, well, obviously Ultimate Edition, get that bump up with the fidelity or whatever. And then I was one of those randomly chosen people to get a PS5 from PS Direct, and so I was like, well, obviously now I got to get like the ray tracing and stuff because I couldn't get it on the Series S, so I got to get it again.
Yeah.
And then like a few months back, it was one of the Fanatical bundles where I could basically get it for like, the equivalent of paying like $5 for it for my laptop. And I was like, I mean, what am I going to just not buy one of the best games ever created for $5? Come on.
So true.
But more on the point of the actual thing that we're talking about tonight. I had an adjacent game to you, Jake. or I jotted down. Sometimes you just want to do random stuff and kill things. Destiny 2, baby.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, sure. That absolutely plays.
Like, yeah. Again, just sometimes you just want to air out your aggression in a healthy way, and not on your parents' wall. Like
Jericho's
18.
rolling in her bed right now. Destiny mentioned.
Somebody mentioned Destiny on the pod. I love it. I love it. Very nice. It's time for a little segment that I like to call
Oh no.
Smash or Pass on Funky Kong. Patrick, the coolest Kong. Does he do it for you?
Yes. And he can
Yeah.
keep the bandana on. That's an easy
I get
smash.
it. And the sunglasses, right?
Yeah, this is funk or pass, and I'm funking.
I get it. Oh, I get it. Chat, I hope you're chiming in. Fun smash, smash, funk. Funk smash. Smash, smash. This is the first hard decision. I'll see myself out. Oh my god, that's Kayla's mother.
Yeah. Well, Nancy,
So sorry. Hi, Nancy. I'm Jake.
That's
Welcome
so
to the
funny.
new pod, Mom.
That is so funny.
It's different around here.
And the salute too is so funny, Nancy. That's hilarious.
We love
my
to see
God.
it. We stand.
Oh wow.
Okay, we're gonna give buffer, and we're gonna skip Kayla for this one, and we're gonna ask CognitiveClips, smash or pass.
As long as he don't funk with my heart, like
Oh, so
the
true.
Black Eyed Peas would say.
Kayla, blink twice for smash. Blink not at all for pass.
Just dead stare into the camera.
Listen, I don't know this game that well, but I played it for an hour and a half, and this was my answer. This is the shorty that does magic in Fields of Mystria.
Juniper?
Juniper sounds right. Cog, that sounds like a smash for you.
Shorty that does
I
magic.
mean, it's not a smash. Although personally, I have been trying to romance Celine, I believe her name is.
Yeah.
Because she kind of scary. Like
Scary mommy.
Yeah.
She's a dom. For
Smash.
sure. Absolutely.
Smash. Smash from Kayla. Patrick, smash.
I would like to get to know her character a little more, but if
Sure.
we're just going off of the character model, she can dom
Yeah.
me if she wants.
High Score Weekly says, didn't play that, so I don't know. I want to play, and I'm assuming those are connected terms, connected thoughts. I bet you do.
Yeah.
Chat, this is Shrek. Audio listeners, this is going to be just a straight up. Just tell me smash or pass. Patrick, smash or pass?
It's a pass for me. I'm
Okay,
afraid.
CognitiveClips.
I'm too scared.
Cog, smash or pass?
yeah, I
Wait,
That sounds like a smash. It's
That's
thinking
a
that
smash.
long
That's a
is
smash. Thank you, Kayla. Smash or pass?
Give me that stank.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Smash for me as well. The Master Chief, Master Cheeks, John 117, John Halo. Kayla, smash or pass?
Oh, no question. Smash.
No question.
Smash.
CognitiveClips,
Smash.
smash. Patrick,
Show me them cheeks.
show me them cheeks. It's smash all the way around. This is
Stop.
law funny. This is
Stop
law
it.
funny. Okay, so that's a smash for Cog, it seems.
No,
Would you
it's
elaborate.
not.
Okay, it's a pass. You're right. Those
Hard
guys are
pass.
terrible. Kayla, smash or pass?
I mean, I'm gonna have to pass on this one. I feel like I've been pretty confidently dishing them out, but we're gonna skip. We're gonna go skip.
Sure. Yeah. Patrick?
Yeah, I don't want to be put on a list. I'm gonna go pass here.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, totally. Pass for me too.
Smash, smash,
This
smash,
is-
smash, 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 smash.
This is Orin from Final Fantasy X. This is the heaviest smash that I've had on the list so far.
Yeah.
111.
From Kayla. That's a smash. Cognitive Clips.
Cover your ears if you haven't played Final Fantasy X. Ready? What that ghost thing do?
Yeah, for sure. I bet that's crazy.
I've played it and I don't remember what you're talking about, but
Yeah.
I want to whatever it is. I want him to do it to me.
Right. Yeah, totally. Very nice. Excellent
Dude, that
work.
was-
That's
All right.
I played the game in like 2008.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in
That
the
was
private
so long
chat.
ago.
It was good. It's a good time then, and it's a good time now. We love to see it. Very nice. Now, I want to get into what I think is going to be the most interesting topic this evening. I want to talk about romanceable characters in video games. Now, I feel like, okay, hear me out. We're gonna fucking Christopher Nolan. What's that movie where it starts at the ending?
Which one?
Memento.
Memento.
Inception. Memento.
Who's got a romanceable character that's not from Cyberpunk, Mass Effect, Witcher, or an Obsidian game? Okay, everybody except for me. Very cool. Patrick, we'll start with you.
One of the first ones I wrote down, I have a feeling I know one of Cog, so I don't want to take that from him, but Bastila in Knights of the Old Republic. So still a BioWare game. And also Jennifer Hale. But
Jennifer Hale, yeah.
Exactly.
Nice.
I remember Bastila in that game. So I would have played this 2007-ish, 8-ish maybe. And I remember that being one of the first times that I was able to like do something like that in a game, of like build a relationship with a character and like pursue them. And there are just so many like beautiful moments for me in that game with the Bastila character. One being when you tell Bastila you love her, you say, "I love you and I know you love me too." And then she says, "Shut up and kiss me, you fool." Like, come on, give it to me. Ooh. And then also toward the end of the game, for those of you that have played the game, I guess earmuffs if you don't want to be spoiled of a fucking 20-year-old game, but there's like she can basically turn to the dark side at one point, depending on how you've been playing and how strong your relationship is with her. And if you have been playing as a good character and your relationship with her is strong, she'll like push aside the dark side and confess her love to you. And it's just like one of those culmination moments. So Bastila is definitely, and Jennifer Hale voice acting that character is a big part of it. Cause she, if you don't know, is also Fem Shep and so many other amazing
iconic characters.
Yeah. She's so good. She's so good. So yeah.
She's one of the 5 female voice actresses.
Yeah. God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she's so good
in that industry.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Solidarity.
All right. Kayla, what do you have for me?
Listen, we did discuss earlier that I have a type and that it's sad emo boys. So I'm going to talk about some Stardew Valley, which I'm sure some of you may have experienced this, but you can literally romance basically anyone that's not actively married in this game. And I always go for my boy Sebastian. I'm trying to make him love me. He's sad. I want to be his friend. I want to be more than friends. And that is a good go-to for me. Also, Elliot's always a nice one. You got Leah, too.
Elliot.
Yeah.
Very nice. I actually want to pick everybody's brain because I think we all have Stardew experience, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
I played like
so
1
much
year of it in game.
Okay, who was your pick? Did you like anybody specifically? Do you remember their names? Can you describe them?
It's been so long, I don't remember, honestly.
Were they blonde? Did they have blue hair?
I don't remember. Like,
okay,
I'm telling you, I don't remember. Stop asking me questions.
All right, Patrick, who you going for?
So the character I was so angry about on stream that I couldn't romance, I think is Leah. I think is her name.
Yeah,
she's she's the one that has the like lumber yard or whatever, but she's married. And it's like, fuck that. Give me a shot.
No,
like,
you're thinking of Robin. I think you're thinking of Robin.
Oh, I'm thinking of Robin. You're exactly right. I'm thinking of Robin.
Leah, you can romance. Yeah.
I was looking at
you need
pictures in Google.
Mods for that. They exist.
Whoa.
So I hear.
All right.
Now listen, I've been playing Stardew Valley for so long that I've lived long enough to start as a Haley type of guy, the blonde, kind of superficial one. And I've moved on to become a Leah main.
Nice.
I just can't get enough of Leah. I think she's perfect.
Wow.
Just a Leah type of guy.
I love.
So good. So good. CognitiveClips, best romance in a video game, not Stardew Valley.
Yeah. This was weird to try to, like, again, as you were saying earlier, find picks that weren't BioWare games.
Yeah.
I've not played Baldur's Gate 3, so I can't even talk to those games. But I'm going to tell you to shut up in advance because I know what your response is going to be, Jake.
Okay.
But some of the Fire Emblem games have some really cool like romance paths.
Somebody take this man's login.
Excellent. Use
Which one's
of the
your
buzzer.
favorite? The one where you start as their teacher and then choose which one you want to. Go ahead. Continue.
No,
That's so funny.
if longtime fans of the podcast might remember from a few weeks ago doing the Nintendo Switch emergency podcast, randomly reaching down and grabbing my Lucina amiibo.
Oh yeah.
And to my recollection,
Yes.
she is an adult who has traveled back in time, so it's not as weird as dating your former student in Three Houses.
Okay.
But I really do just love her character, and as a bonus, she's voiced by Laura Bailey, I believe.
Oh.
Actually, she's a 1,000-year-old demon, so.
Oops. There are characters like that in Fire. They're like, I look like I'm 12. I'm a 1,000-year-old dragon.
Oh god.
It's always so creepy. But
What are those games, by the way? Can we get a couple names of those games where it's a 1,000-year-old dragon that's no?
Yeah, correct.
Drop in the chat. Drop in the chat.
I do love the Fire Emblem games, and Lucina is one of my favorite characters. She was so awesome. And I believe that maybe they introduced it in a way earlier game, but in Awakening they had that cool mechanic where it was like sort of a time skip, time travel weirdness going on, because again, Lucina herself was one of them, where like if you paired people off, whether it was yourself or your other members of your military, then like you could also recruit their children who all had their own distinct like personalities and whatever, like to come and join the cause, save the world. That was pretty cool. But then I'm just going to lean into it and specifically rattle off a couple from Three Houses that were like really cool. Because even without the romance part of it, you still like getting to know these characters and hit their A relationship level, like to get to know them better or whatever. Has some like really good and actually like surprisingly deep stories. Mary Ann from Three Houses being one of them, like basically spending most of her life just praying to the goddess that she could just die. She just didn't want to be around like ever. And like, again, being a depressive boy related heavily to some of that, and like seeing her kind of come back out of that, like helping her out of that was really cool. And a shout out to my boy Sylvain over in the Blue Lions, who he starts off and you just think he's this like really arrogant, pretty boy, like womanizer. But then you find out that it's like, he just feels like anyone who has any sort of interest in him at all is just wanting to get after his, like he has a major crest in his bloodline. So he just kind of leans into it. Like no one cares about me as a person anyway. So I'm just going to like, be a playboy and screw all of you. Like, so like getting to actually like see that there were deeper layers to some of these characters that you may have just written off as JRPG like tropes at first was pretty cool. So,
hell yeah.
Very cool indeed. We love it. Patrick,
Yeah.
what do you bring to the table?
Well, so I got a non-Mass Effect out of the way, but let's talk about Mass Effect. I mean, no one does it better than Mass Effect, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And for me, I know there's a lot of Garrus lovers out there. There's a lot of Miranda lovers out there. I was always a Tali lover myself.
Tali Zora?
Tali Zora, and then eventually Tali Zora Voss Normandy, if you do the romance with her.
That's right.
But there was just something, High Score Weekly, Tali is S tier, smash tier. I thought there was something
based.
Yeah, I thought there was something so sweet about her story. Because here's the thing. I played that game so many times, I've romanced like half the people that you can, and hers is still my favorite. But I forget what it's called now because it's been so long, but she has to wear the suit and the mask because she's basically allergic to everything. And all of the people of that species are, where it's like, if they take the mask off, they'll basically die. And so
Quarians, is that the
Quarian? Yeah, I think so. And then, in the third one, I think it's the third one. It's like a very big kind of conversation about like her taking off the mask for you because she could get sick or whatever. But I thought that was such a really nice heartfelt story of that character.
You get to see her
and
without the mask?
you kind of do. And then there's a part where there's like a picture that you can see eventually, but you never like see it face to face in game.
Cool.
But yeah, I was always a big fan of Tali. But also shout out to Liara as well, especially with the Shadow of the layer of the Shadow Broker DLC. If you romanced her and then play that, it's very good.
Yeah, the layer of the Shadow Broker.
Very good. Very good. I had Mass Effect Miranda written down. Was a hot ticket for me.
One.
Yep, easy ones in chat. 0 for no, 1 for yes, which is really good. And then I will.
I had Miranda, which is really good, and I also
really good. I'm transitioning. I'm trying to bring up my sticky note of the next. I don't know.
And why is it sticky, Jake?
I don't know. I can't control myself because it says Judy. It says Judy Cyberpunk. I am over the moon about my romance with Judy. Judy was okay. Listen, the Cyberpunk. Nancy, turn the TV off. Listen,
she's a cool mom. She's chill.
Right. Nancy, turn the TV up. The Cyberpunk sex scenes go fucking crazy. I was like, this isn't a video game that isn't explicitly about this on the Steam Naughty section.
Yeah.
This is wild. There was like a inverted hand being lowered. There was a whole bunch of stuff happening in that scene. There was implied relations taking place.
I remember because I romanced Judy as well, and I remember sitting at this very desk, and as if I was 12, turning around, and be like, "I just hope Rose doesn't walk in right now because that'll just look so bad."
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I had no idea. I haven't played Cyberpunk, so this is all news to me. Yeah.
Well, I've played
it's
like
insane.
a couple hours. And, like, even I don't know if this is like specific to any one like background, but like the opening mission that I got was like you're trying to like track down some like high priority person because like their implant is malfunctioning or something weird. And it's just some like butt naked lady in a bathtub that you have to like carry out to like a balcony for a medical evac. And I'm like,
yeah, and it's like first person. You have to like pick her up, and it's first person. There's like a bouncing boob in your face the entire time.
I'm like,
the jiggle they went a little hard on the jiggle.
Yeah, they were like, we're setting the pace for what Night City's all about. It's crazy, but I think we're going with our best foot forward here and talking about like the actual like sex scene. But in reality, the actual like conversations and the relationship that develops between you and Judy, and I can't speak to any of the other Cyberpunk relationships, is pretty fucking impressive. Like you care about that person in the game pretty much more than anybody else, depending on how you handle yourself in that game. But it is really, really impressive. And Cyberpunk for me is, I think to date, if I have to put a crown on something for like the most impactful relationship that I affected in a game that I made a choice on, I'm going Judy and Cyberpunk all day long.
Sure. Noise.
Yeah. Nice. Not so bad. Besides that, does anybody have a Witcher pick? Are any of you guys Triss or Yen pilled?
Well, I do want to, for our next topic, some people wrote in some things from the audience, but one of them I think we can pull into here, the Dan Good Show, the Triss, Yennefer, and Geralt triangle is the love triangle specifically. And I wrote down, because I was, I think I went Yennefer, I'm pretty sure. I didn't lead with it because it was so long ago, I kind of forget anything that went down. I just remember the love triangle happening. But yeah, definitely a good pull there for sure.
Yeah, really good. Does anybody else have one that you're passionate about, Cog?
Not really that I'm passionate about. Just any Saint Motel enjoyers.
Me.
Oh.
Me.
Because I wrote down,
who's surprised?
Yes. I knew we were friends. But for like when I was like making my own notes and just the best in-game romances or whatever, I wrote Shep and whoever is closest to them, parentheses, you're just my type. You've got a pulse and you're breathing. Lyrics to the song. That's the lyrics to the song My Type by Saint Motel, and it's a banger.
That's so funny.
I see.
Incredible. Love that.
Very good. Kayla, you seem like you had one.
Yeah. Of course. I always have the moment to talk about Life is Strange, where Now, let's be clear. I'm not a big, if you know anything about my gaming taste, I'm not a big, I have not played any really Bioware games ever, which is on my list. Me and Jericho are going to do a full playthrough of Mass Effect where I get to choose who I romance. So that will be a full exposition. But Life is Strange, there's a little bit of some decision making that you have to make when you're, especially in Before the Storm with Rachel Amber. And I would say that if you're interested in some, inclusive romance options, Life is Strange is always a good one to go with.
Oh yeah,
very good.
Cog, I'm surprised you didn't bring in Morrigan from Dragon Age Origins.
That would be because I've not played Dragon Age Origins.
Well, you got to get on that, Cog.
But I think you're probably saying that because I have run into Morrigan in Inquisition, which I never finished, and Veilguard, which I'm actively playing, and just being like, why is she not like an option?
Yeah, because she was in Dragon Age Origins.
Yeah, and I hear it ends badly.
Not necessarily. It does for a lot of people, but I think that's a really good romance story in a game.
Well, that's
specifically. Well, specifically because she very much challenges the player in a way of like, if you were just here to sexualize me, then I'm not playing ball. Like I value your like your power. I value your knowledge. But the second you just want to try to have sex, like just have sex, I'm out. And like there's some like conversations that happen about that, and she'll like start to pull away if you just like openly flirt with her. I think is a really well done.
That's cool.
It's really cool. Yeah.
Yep.
I like that.
I love that.
Look at that, taking the high road. Now, what if we took
Oh no.
the low road?
If you throw another Pokemon on the screen, Jake.
What if we talked about Dead or Alive Extreme series? If you remember back to our first episode, Patrick tried to silence me. Patrick has left the building. Listen, man, it doesn't come out in the United States, but we can still play it via Waze. This is a dating sim at its core, but you also get to play volleyball. You also get to play butt battle, where you take pictures of your favorite.
I'm sorry, you play a game called Butt Battle in this game?
Yeah, you have to push each other off the float with your butt.
Wow.
I wonder why you can't play this
right.
game everywhere. Interesting.
That's so funny.
Jake said, "Y'all are getting too serious in this business. We gotta cook it down."
Remind the chat that Jake is the one single person out of the 7 of us.
The correct resident gooner. Listen, the other thing that I have written down on mine for like romances, and it's superficial, but it's always just done in such a funny way, is the Fable games. Have such fun romance. Like you can have multiple wives and put them in like nice houses or shitty houses. You can marry important NPCs like Lady Grey and take over her castle, and it is such a fun time. You can spread STDs to your entire harem if you so desire. It's a whole situation over there in Fable, and I'm really excited to see what they do with that in the new game, because I think it's probably going to be absolutely insane.
If we get a date for Fable, I want to set up a series of Fable streams leading in, because I've been itching to play Fable and I've been wanting to do it on stream, but now I'm like, I should probably wait and try to time it a little better.
Every Fable is like 12 hours long too.
Yeah,
like you can do it in like 4 streams. Like in 1 month, once a week, we get together and do 3 hours of Fable and just fucking take care of business.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Anybody else have anything for like romances before we get into my favorite topic of the night?
Not me.
Hey, let's go.
All right.
Let's dive in.
Let's get into a little segment that I like to call Smash or Pass on this Bellsprout. I mean, look at it. Look at it.
At least been Victory Bell.
Victory Bell has teeth. Weeping Bell, maybe. Perhaps.
But it's Bellsprout. It's a fucking baby.
No.
All right, we're skipping Bellsprout. It's time to talk about Rouge the Bat. CognitiveClips, Smash or Pass.
What them wings do, girl?
Hey.
Too real. Kayla, what do you think?
She had me feeling uncomfy when I was a kid. Let's say smash. Let's go.
Say smash.
Let's
Patrick,
go.
we smashing?
Oh yeah, we're smashing.
We're smashing. That's a smash across the board. Chad is saying smash, smash. I got a pass. She scares me. That's okay. You might get into that
Scary
eventually. Over here we have Tifa. Tifa from Final Fantasy VII. Cognitive Clips, smash or pass?
I love it. I can't.
Maybe
get
I can
over
help
that
you.
No, I just can't get over that.
Is this helpful? I can change it to a higher res Tifa.
I know where this is going.
Is this helpful? Would this
He's
help
not
you
done.
make a
He's
decision?
not done.
Would this make no? Oh, what about? Would you like the purple dress Tifa?
He's not done.
I have that slide too.
How
No
many
way.
pictures?
Let's
of
just go ahead and
Tifa-
leave it here.
There we go.
Cognitive Clips, smash or pass on Tifa.
If it gets you to move on, I'll say smash.
Thank
Oh,
you, Patrick.
if it gets you to move on.
Yeah, thank
it's a
you for
smash
doing us
across
such a
the
service. You're
There's a
so
smash
generous
across the
to
board,
us.
people.
No, I was still just so focused on you like pulling up like the 16-bit version the first time. That was a good bit.
I do what I can. I do what I can to add a little visual comedy every once in a while. Patrick, smash?
Oh, it's a smash across the board. Either it's a smash or you're lying.
Correct. Kayla, go ahead and confirm.
You're either smashing or you're lying. You know what I mean?
Let's
Let's go
go.
smash. Let's go
Or
smash.
you're lying. So real. So real. Let's dig in to some more of our main topic, which is, of course, love in video games. And this is our final love topic, but don't be sad. Love sometimes isn't forever, but it's better to have loved and lost than not to have loved at all, as they say. Now let's talk couples in video games. Now, I'm not talking about the ones that you decide on. I'm talking about the ones that have predetermined stories, the best in-game romances that were written for us, like a movie or a TV show or a book that's not choose your own adventure, because they have those. I'm going to start off. I won't start off. I'm going to pass it. I'm going to give it to, let's start with Cog this time around. The best couples in video games, the best love stories in video games. Tell me what you got.
I've got to shout out immediately Clive and Jill, FF16. Now, if you want to hear me go like real deep into this specific thing, there's a whole essay on it on my channel.
Hey now.
Wow.
But,
plug, shameless plug.
Shameless
Love
plug.
this.
No, specifically the way that they like just nurture and support each other for the entire journey is incredible. Again, I've spoken to this a million times on my channel as well. To have like this someone who on the surface you will assume is like hyper masculine and is voiced by one of the sexiest voices in the game, Ben Starr, and all this stuff. And to have him be a very emotionally vulnerable, emotionally broken person. And for that not to ever in the entire course of the game be shamed by anyone, whether that's his, friend turned lover Jill, or if it's his best friends who are other men, like that's never a source of shame or like teasing or anything like that from anybody. So that's just, point number one. But something else that I really found interesting about the game, especially having played Tales of Arise, because there is this is what my big essay is about, is that there's a situation in both games where a female character is presented with the opportunity to exact her revenge because of what was done to her in the past. Those circumstances are not the exact same in each game. But in either case, you can safely assume, whether it's actually shown or just, again, an implication, that the men around these women have had these same feelings. They've killed plenty of people. They've gotten their own revenge. But then, like in FF16, when that time comes, Jill's like, I need to come with you, and I need to put this dog down, basically. And Clive's like, cool, when do we leave? There is never a moment of, no, Jill, we need to take the high road. You're a lady, and ladies do not exact. No, none of that bullshit. she deserves her revenge, and he helps her get it. And it's an incredible moment that she earned, and it like the fact that is their relationship, that they're there for each other, whether it's a great path or a terrible path, morally speaking, quote unquote. Thick and thin, they're there for each other, and you get to watch that relationship grow from they've been estranged for decades, from being separated as kids to
being butt ass naked on the beach.
I love when you see their butts. Something about it.
There's something about
it's good butt.
That is why I love you people.
This is the duality you signed up for on this podcast.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's
exactly right.
I had so many deep, thought-provoking points, but it still ends in butts on the beach.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's fine. That's fine.
Correct.
That was great.
Listen, does anybody else have any Final Fantasy stuff written in theirs?
I have adjacent, but not Final Fantasy.
We'll go adjacent. I'm going to come back to Final Fantasy.
I was for all you freaks out there. How about Sora and Kairi, Jake?
Oh, baby.
Yeah,
we love it. Yeah, Sokai.
Is that their couple name? Sokai.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember a bunch of details, but I do remember loving their little story. And how about you tell us a little bit about that love story, Jake?
I mean, it's pretty precious. They are young kids that are little sweethearts, and they obviously go through Kingdom Hearts is a very long spanning saga that takes place over many years, and they are together and they're apart and they're in different worlds and realms and whatnot, but their love story is the core of the entire franchise, and it revolves around them sharing the Papu fruit that of course bonds two people together. Let us not forget that at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts, Riku and Sora just race, and they say whoever wins gets to eat the Papu fruit with Kairi, which is absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah,
the stakes have never been higher. But I think it's very sweet. I think that's a very sweet video game, and a very sweet story that goes over a lot of things.
Yeah,
but are there butts on the beach?
We don't see their butts, but Kingdom Hearts 4 soon. Nomura, where are you?
Where are you?
Where are you? I need you.
I do want to Final Fantasy related. We got one from the chat in our Discord. If you ever want to chime in and have your thoughts read on the show, if you're not in the chat of twitch.tv/drop-and-drop-out-pod, go on over to the Discord. We dropped at least one topic for each episode in there to get some submissions. And this week we did this specific subtopic of best video game couples. And High Score Weekly said, shout out to Final Fantasy VIII. 25th anniversary is the 11th. So 2 days ago was the 25th anniversary. Squall and Renoa. It's grumpy/sunshine trope, but both of their individual character arcs and how they are woven together by the end make them a great couple. So yeah, in the realm of Final Fantasy.
That's as in the realm as it gets, baby.
Yeah,
a very good one for me. You guys all knew this was coming. One of my favorite games of all time is, of course,
say it correctly.
Final Fantasy X. Tidus and Yuna. I'm a Tidus truther. I will not call him Tidus. One of the most beautiful stories ever written. I really hate spoiling the ending of this game, because for anybody that hasn't experienced it, it is such a good bait and switch. The evolution of Yuna's character in particular, in Tidus kind of being the clueless vessel that stands in for the audience throughout that entire game, despite being the main character, is very, very interesting, the way that story plays out. And it is, listen, you can loop Final Fantasy X-2 and the Final Fantasy X-3 audio drama into this if you'd like, but I think the standalone story in Final Fantasy X is one of the craziest things. I always credit Final Fantasy X with teaching me two things. Number one, pixels can be hot sometimes.
Right there. The timing was impeccable.
You're telling me that's Lady Unaleska, and she's not wearing much. But also that games can really make you feel something. I was 12 years old, and I was this story just made me cry. I'm emotional from this. Yeah. It's fucking insane. Tidus and Yuna romance goes incredibly fucking hard. And I love it more than anything. It's the thing that I always want to talk about with anybody that's played Final Fantasy X, is those final bits. There are parts of that game I can't even fucking watch without tearing up at.
Hell yeah.
Incredible. Incredible.
I have to call attention to Jerica in the chat. Please,
Yeah?
just dropped in. She said they were my first video game ship besides Sonic and Tails.
Very based. The scene in the lake, yeah.
For Sonic and Tails, or
I believe
Kaiser
is the yeah, well, that one too. But plays in the background. It's unbelievable. That whole scene is implied sex.
Yeah.
God, it's hot.
Sonic and Tails, right?
Correct. We're still
Right,
talking
right.
about Sonic and Tails here.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if we switched.
Yeah. Kayla, we
They
haven't
have.
heard from you on this.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I'm
Really
pleasantly surprised because I thought that my first one that I was going to bring to you guys was going to be a deep cut, but I actually see that we had a submission for the one that I would like to mention from Coal Mines in our Discord. Red and Antea from Banisher's Ghost of New Eden is my pick. Banisher's Ghost of New Eden. It didn't necessarily review super well and didn't get a ton of traction. It's from Don't Nod actually. And I really enjoyed this game, and I especially really enjoyed the romance between these two main characters. Without really spoiling anything, you're essentially banishers. You banish spirits and ghosts from like they're essentially terrorizing different towns, and you're going around. You're a married couple. You can play as either of them. You can play as both of them at different points, and they're married, and they go through a lot together, especially towards the beginning. And there's a lot of implied lore for their relationship. But the whole game is really about their relationship, and the Antea actually is killed and is a ghost throughout the whole game. And you're having to kind of like decide her fate as you go because she is now the thing that they hate and that they're trying to get rid of. And you're having to kind of play between her as a spirit and him as a spirit banisher and balancing those two things. And their dialogue is just really great, and I really enjoy them as a couple in the game. So definitely recommend this game. It's underappreciated. There's some things that are a little clunky, but yeah.
You talking about this game is the most I've ever wanted to play this game.
Yeah,
you
it's good.
really sold me on it there.
No, thank you. It's there's some things that I would change. Some of it's the pacing can be a little slow at times, but I really enjoy the narrative and the gameplay I actually find pretty fun too.
If you told me that how long to beat on this is 9 hours, I'd play it tomorrow.
It's not, I believe it's like 20, 15, 20. Yeah.
I'll play it next week.
I'll look it up.
Very nice. Very, very nice. I have a lot of these written down, but I want to talk about one that I think is so cool and so important, and I think an interesting one in the way that it's told, because we only see this character via flashbacks in the ways that other people talk about her, and it is Kratos's relationship with Faye.
Sure.
In God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok. And specifically, I think she casts a very big shadow over that story. For anybody that doesn't know, the opening of God of War 2018, not a spoiler, is Kratos and Atreus burning her body. She has recently died. And the entire quest in God of War 2018 is to fulfill something that we need to do for her. We have to what is it? We have to spread her ashes or something like that.
At the highest point in all the realms.
Right. So that's the whole thesis for that. But there is specifically, we're going to go spoilers on for not like for the entire game of God of War Ragnarok, but in one particular scene, there is a very vivid playable flashback of Kratos and Faye interacting during a point of emotional distress for Kratos, where he is remembering this. It's a dream that he's remembering very vividly in a time of need. And probably one of my favorite and most profound fucking quotes in video games comes. You guys know where I'm going with this? You know the one I'm about to deliver? Yeah. It is fucking tough to even read out loud for anybody that's ever lost somebody that they fucking loved, relationship or otherwise. It's Kratos talking to her about how hard it is to live without her in this world. And Faye says, the culmination of love is grief. And yet we love despite the inevitable. We open our hearts to it. To grieve deeply is to have loved fully.
Yeah, so good. Chills already.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So good.
It's so good. It's so good.
Cherry on top, it was Deborah Ann Wall.
Yeah.
I just adore as a person. She's an amazing
absolutely
movie.
Insane. And this is the same character who I used to press like square and triangle rhythmically to bang Greek shorties on beds as. And still like that's my other big Kratos couple favorite thing.
Yeah,
It's absolutely insane the way that they have flipped that game on its head.
The collective shorties.
The collective shorties, multiples, so many. Very, very strong shit from the God of War duology there.
A couple other I'd like to throw out there. One, I think an easy one, Ellie and Dina. For multiple. I think their story is so good, but I think also like to talk kind of bigger, to talk higher level of like, we all know how fucking toxic gaming is. And I just love that one of the biggest, most successful franchises in the world is just slapping a lesbian couple in their faces of like, fuck you guys. This is normal. There's nothing weird or wrong about this. Fuck you. They're in love and it makes sense. And I love that. And then on top of that, it's just their story is just so good. And
Jerica, get in here.
Jerica, you want to jump in?
She said I would call in as a resident lesbian.
Dina kind of being the first and only person to really challenge Ellie to be like, no, if you do this, I leave. Like to kind of jump toward the end of the game. Sorry for no spoiler warning. But yeah, I love their story so much, and I can't wait to see we've already seen Bella Ramsey's Ellie, but now to see someone else take a crack at playing Dina in the show. Her name escapes me right now.
Isabella Merced.
Thank you. So yeah, very excited to see how that culminates on television. And then they've said that they're working on another one. Where does that story go? I'm sure we'll see Dina again. I guess that's also a spoiler, but yeah, they're definitely up there for me. And then also another one, jumping away from Mass Effect and jumping away from The Last of Us, going to Mass Effect. I flipped that in my brain. Edie and Joker. Any fans of the Edie and Joker romance?
Yes, for sure.
Actually, yes. Yeah.
Seth Green, and I don't remember who plays Edie, but Edie is the AI of the ship, and Joker is one of the first characters at the beginning to not put up a wall kind of for Edie, and because a lot of people around the ship don't trust Edie because she's artificial intelligence, and Joker kind of grows a relationship with her, and then but eventually she gets a physical form and they get to be together, and it's really beautiful.
It's Trisha Helfer, by the way.
There you go.
Classic, one of the 5.
Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
Who could tell? Kayla, you got more for us?
I sure do. I'm going to go with Mr. Ethan Winters and Maya. Is it Mia or Maya Winters?
I think
Resident Evil. Resident Evil, they go through some hard times. Let's be clear. There's some hard times. But honestly, because they're in, I believe it's 7 and 8. I'm kind of new to Resident Evil.
7 and 8.
In both 7 and 8. And I think especially like the scenes in the beginning of Resident Evil 8 Village are tough for them for sure. And I really like their relationship. Actually, obviously Resident Evil it's goofy, right? Like there are definitely some like my arm, like it's very like his hand's always gone. Let's just be real. But he holds her hand with the other one that he does have. You know what I mean? And they have a child together. It's just really sweet. And I'm a big fan of that game, so I'm gonna go with Ethan Winters.
I love Resident Evil so much. I've always struggled connecting with Ethan, though. He is of all the protagonists in Resident Evil, he is the one that I could not care less for. Like I just, for some reason, he just has never clicked for me. And I've wondered if part of it is the first person of it all. And I know you can now play in third person with the expansion. I never did that. But I don't know. That's just me, though.
I'm a late Resident Evil knower. I've only ever played 7 and 8, and I also played what's the remake that came out the most recent 4 remake? Yeah. Also really loved. But that's just to give the context. I'm a late knower.
Sure. We got to get you to play 2. Oh, you're gonna love 2.
Ooh.
Yeah. I can't wait for you to play 2.
Let's go.
Jake, can I bring in some from the audience? We have some more from the audience.
I would love nothing more.
Evan Brando Show wrote in Phoenix Wright and Miles Edgeworth. Any Edgers? He also wrote Joe and Sylvia from Beautiful Joe too.
I
Thanks for those
love
write-ins.
Beautiful Joe, man. Such a good pull.
Bring it back.
The homie Noah wrote in Cody and May from It Takes Two are the best gaming couple.
Smart.
Jonesing Simba, one that I'm surprised we didn't bring up. I was gonna bring it up and then I forgot to. Nate and Elena from Uncharted. Especially like the way that culminates in 4. I won't spoil that, but that is maybe one of the best answers is Nate and Elena. I mean, you have 4 full games building on their relationship, and it culminates so awesome. And then final one, already read Dan Goodshow's in the last topic, but then he also said the couple in the indie game Haven. Awesome co-op game, and the first one we played together when she was she's talking about his wife when she first started gaming. Very fun turn-based co-op combat and a neat little mystery about 2 lovers on the run. So there you go.
I started that game, but I couldn't get far. The combat was like weird. I'm sure I could have gotten used to it, but I decided to just drop it instead.
Sure. And then one more from the chat: Brudderman Gaming, Leisure Suit Larry, and anyone.
So true. So true. I'll rifle through a couple of mine real quick, and then I do want to dwell on one, and then I'm going to pass it to Cog. You got another one for me? If I dish it your way? Oh, he's got another one for me. I love it. I wanted to talk about massive spoilers for the Xenoblade Chronicles series.
Spoil it. Spoil all of it.
How dare you?
Okay. First, I have written down Noah and Mio. They're the couple from Xenoblade Chronicles. For the most part, they have a very clear main character in the first and the second game in the form of Shulk and Rex, and it is a single main character, whereas in the third one, almost kind of similar to the way that Titus and Yuna are co-stars of Final Fantasy X, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 co-stars Noah and Mio and centers around their romance, which I think is very, very sweet, extremely profound, fucking crazy. Made me cry on multiple occasions. It's absolutely insane. But I want to talk about a little bit of a love. What do you call a love 4-way?
A square? A love
rectangle? Square. Okay, so it's like a love pyramid kind of, because you have one guy, Rex, and then you have Pyra.
A diamond?
A diamond, maybe. Pyra, Mithra, and Nia. And all 3 of these women are competing for Rex's heart in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And romance is not a really big deal in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Once you roll credits on that game, it is not too crazy. Like there's one point in that game where Nia says, "I love you, Rex," and Rex says, "I love you too. I love all of you," and friend zones Nia so badly. It is just absolutely fucking devastating. And then Pyra and Mithra, who you guys probably know from Smash, are kind of like the anime baddies from that game. Yep. They're mostly just Smash. But it is implied that maybe Rex ends up with one of those. Massive spoilers for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC. Okay? It takes place in the far future and is kind of like a DLC story for all 3 of the Xenoblade games. And Nia, in particular, is actually in Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And when you go through Nia's belongings, you can find a photo. And this photo is the entire cast of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 with Rex at the top and his arms out, hugging not 1, not 2, but all 3 of the aforementioned women, all holding children. It is implied that Rex fucks all 3 of these women and they create a harem family. It is fucking insane.
Wow. It's called polyamory.
It is fucking insane.
They harem family.
Polyamory. You're right. Very, very close-minded of me. But
I was
absolutely insane.
I was so ready to just be so mean about how fucking boring all of this sounds, but you brought me back with that.
Dude, it is wild. It is like, and it was one of those things that just like, I loved being a part of the fandom when that whole fucking thing happened, because they went crazy. People had always argued like Rex and Nia or Rex and Pyra or Rex, like, who do you think? Then that happened and people were like, it started coming out as like a leak, and people were like, "What is this fan fiction that you guys are posting?" And then more people started going, "No fucking way, it's fucking real!" Like people went crazy.
Hilarious.
It's
Wow.
unbelievable. Yeah, it's so fucking funny. And that's like that picture is her like keepsake that she has in her.
That's
so
funny.
It's so fucking good.
We love to see it.
Cognitive Clips, hit me with some good stuff.
Yeah. A great one for me, I think I mentioned on a different podcast in another lifetime, was Alphen and Shion in Tales of Arise. You just love it. It's I can't remember how you described it earlier. Somebody described a thing. I'm really good at storytelling. But it's like
Yes,
Shion is like really closed off, and Alphen's like, has only had like barely any memories of who he's supposed to be, but like is just generally like, a little bit more upbeat and like trying to, help people whenever he can, kind of a thing. And like seeing them like grow closer as a story goes along, and like this incredible scene at probably the halfway point of the game where he's like literally clawing through this wall of like magical thorns to get to her and like save her and stuff. And it's like, the way that they played it out was great. And, shout out to the GOAT, Erica Lindbeck, one of the 5 female voice actresses. And, and the guy who voices Alphen, I can't remember his name at the moment, but he's pretty prolific in games, but he also voiced Cyclops in X-Men 97. So I was like, that's my boy.
Cool. Nice.
To me, cool. My X-Men. And I also do want to shout out Link and Zelda. Not always actually.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
But their little cutesy, like kind of, blossoming romance in Skyward was like really endearing.
Yeah.
And then I really love, it's kind of plays out in the background if you actually like are paying attention, but like very heavily implied that in the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom timeline that they are together.
Yeah.
Like I love it. You find her diary in Breath of the Wild, and she's talking about how like, she was lashing out at him because she was depressed and like, down on herself about all this stuff. And then he opened up to her about blah, 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 blah. And then like you find her house and, and you go back to your house that you bought in Breath of the Wild when you're in Tears of the Kingdom. And she has like her own little space and like her own little research.
I think it's called Zelda's house when you get there.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So I was like, oh, this is like really cute. To like see how it kind of plays out in the not front and center, but still plays out.
For sure.
So I like it.
Kayla, do you have any other ones?
I think that I've gone through all of mine, so I would love to hear Patrick's last one.
I have one last one that I just thought of. I was scrolling through my top 100 games on GG. I was like, what else do I have in here? And I came across Gone Home.
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah.
And so then I started playing because I was like, I don't remember. This doesn't sound like a very good pitch because I can't remember names because I played it so long ago. But I do remember like you playing the titular Susan Gone Home, coming home. Her name's not Susan, and her last name is not Gone Home. But throughout the game, you're uncovering like these different audio tracks, essentially of different things around the house and whatnot. And I remember the love story, or like the story of you and your girlfriend being very almost get it suggests some things that ends up no not sex.
Caitlin
is
one of the characters. Yes,
the game kind of makes you think that you're stumbling into a horror story, which I was very fascinating back in 2015 or 2013, I guess. But yeah, Gone Home. Shout out to Gone Home.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
That I'm not going to linger on this, but that reminded me Firewatch has a pretty cool,
sure.
It doesn't have to be a romance. You can kind of like choose with just like, that relationship between John Firewatch and Susan Other Firewatch, like really developing and
exactly
just through the walkie-talkie, and was really cool.
We love it. Yeah. The last two, go ahead, Patrick.
I was going to say Mario and Luigi.
Would Smash.
One.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have 2 left on mine. One of them I should have put in with the Final Fantasy conversation, Noctis and Luna Freya. I know that story is a little bit half-baked, but if you ever roll credits on Final Fantasy 15, that game has the best closing moments of any Final Fantasy. I'm not saying the best ending. I'm saying the best final moments in any Final Fantasy. I think it's a fucking 10 out of 10.
I'll never do it.
Final moments.
I don't get it. It's a 10 out of 10 final moments. Final. And then the last one that I have written down, some spoilers coming up for deep Hades side quests.
Oh yeah,
Orpheus and Eurydice.
yeah,
incredibly strong. The way that plays out is Orpheus. And how do you say her name? Patrick.
Eurydice.
Nailed it. And that's me reading Harry Potter when I was a kid and calling her Hermione until I saw the movies.
Dude,
no,
that was so bad.
You didn't. No,
I think I did too.
I don't have a frame of reference for this shit.
Right.
The way that it works is he is like muse. What would you call him? What is he?
Orpheus, yeah, he's
like an entertainer.
Yeah, if you want to get the love story of Orpheus and Eurydice, there's also a musical called Hades Town, which is very good. Let's see, Orpheus. What is he? Orpheus is a Thracian bard, legendary music prophet.
Right.
And he plays a song at one point in the game called "Good Riddance," I believe is the name of it.
Yeah.
And it is a very solemn song, and it's a sad song that is presumably about a breakup. And it comes to be known that breakup is with her. He's talking about the two of them and how they're separated. And then later on in the game, you stumble across her in one of the other realms, and she is also singing the same song, but in a much different tune. And it is kind of like a hopeful version of the song, as if it is like a reimagining of it, and it's thinking about reuniting and getting back together is, I guess, is the idea. And if you progress each of their side quests enough, eventually you can reunite them, and they sing that song together, and you hear both of their versions as they harmonize to make one of the most beautiful musical moments in video games. To me, I think it's fucking spectacular. Really cool stuff.
Patrick, you probably know this more than I do, but I believe the story, in Greek mythology, is that Eurydice dies somehow, and Orpheus travels down into Hades to bring her back.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a condition that he has to lead her out, and if he turns around at any point, then she can't follow him anymore. Or something
like that, yeah.
And he can't help but turn around to make sure that she's still with him. And because he turns around, then she's doomed to Hades forever, and he can never see her again.
Yeah, that's an OG love story right there.
Yeah,
and the game did a great job of telling it. But yeah, probably.
With my great details.
Yeah, if any of y'all fucks with musical theater, Hades Town is really fucking good. You should listen to it.
Love it. All right. I think that's everything.
I would say
as an end cap on love, perhaps we do one last round of Smash or Pass. Kayla, I think you're muted, but let's start with you. What you got on Crash Bandicoot? Smash or Pass?
Kayla, I don't think she heard you.
Or is it Crash or Pass?
Oh, Kayla, you're still muted.
I'm going to do a big old crash and smash. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Chat, make sure you chime in as well. I need to know if it's a smash. I see smashes already. What about Patrick?
Is Aku joining?
Yes. He'll be watching. Only watching.
Oh, sure. Kaku
from his chair.
Smash for me.
Correct. CognitiveClips, smash or pass?
I'm a pass. I think he might just break everything.
Me, smash
the room.
This is Hideo Kojima. CognitiveClips, smash or pass?
It's gonna be so weird. I have to see what it's gonna be like. Smash.
Yeah, for sure. I want to know everything he's into. Patrick?
There couldn't have been an easier smash than Hideo Kojima.
Agreed. Kayla.
Where's Jericho when you need her? She's probably roll is buttered and ready to go.
Roll is
five.
Jericho would kill me if I didn't say smash, so I'm going in, folks.
Yeah.
So true. This is my created character from Dragon's Dogma 2. His name was Rodney. They didn't have nipple sliders, so I used both of my tattoo slots to give him the biggest nipples in all of Dragon's Dogma 2. Kayla, smash or pass?
I'm afraid.
His eyes don't open.
See, then they can't be consensual, so I'm gonna pass.
Okay, that's
oh, so blind people can't have sex, Kayla? Wow, wow.
For audio listeners, Patrick's head is in his hands. He took his glasses off. He seems disturbed by the sight of Rodney. YouTube.com/@dropindropoutpod. If you'd like to take a peek, the timestamp should be around 1:48:50. All right, we're just going to assume Smash for the rest of our panel here as well. Very good. This is Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. A little chilly, but cognitive clips, smash or pass?
Smash, what that ice do?
So true. Patrick, have you recovered?
Well, I can't believe that you brought Rodney into this.
Rodney.
But this is a pass for me. I'm afraid of making Sub-Zero angry. I don't want to see Sub-Zero angry.
I get it. Kayla, smash or pass?
I'm gonna follow Patrick's lead and do a little pass for this one.
Yeah, fair.
Yep.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
This is Gardevoir.
For $435 US, is it 435, Jake?
449.
449.
Yeah,
you could
get a 53-inch Gardevoir.
Yeah,
life size.
How many did you order?
Just one. It's just mine. Jeff Keighley, smash or pass? Look at his eyes.
No.
Okay,
I'm
pass.
sorry.
Patrick,
It's a pass.
I'm gonna say smash in the hopes that he gives me some video game secrets after some pillow talk.
Yeah, for sure.
Where is BioShock?
Yeah, right. What do you know?
One more thing.
Right. Yeah. Oh, what is Keely's one more thing?
What is Keely?
I know you thought this was over.
It's another finger.
Swirl in the tap. Yep, a classic. All right. Cognitive clips, smash or pass on Gollum from the video game Gollum?
Smash him against the brick wall.
Oh, very nice.
Any more easy
Whoa, how'd
chat?
that get in here? That's a slime from Dragon Quest. Smash.
Smash.
This is Lightning McQueen from Cars. Kayla, smash or pass?
Owen Wilson. Pass.
Love is a highway.
Yeah, so true. Is that a smash for you?
Wow.
Yeah. And that sounds like a smash for Cog. And then our final entrant tonight, Birdo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Smash or pass? Cognitive clips.
I think I got a smash.
Yep. Patrick, smash or pass?
Smash. Come on.
Kayla, smash or
What do you
pass?
think I am?
She seems like a nice lady. I'll smash.
I agree. Make sure you weigh in the comment section. Leave us a review, 5 stars, and say smash. Smash, drop in, drop out pod. That's what I always say. That is it for love. Everyone agrees love is now dead as far as the drop in, drop out pod is concerned. But it's time for our final segment of the night. I want to talk to you guys all about what we've been playing because it's been a wild time here in February. And I guess we should start with Avowed. I think it has the most overlap on the panel.
Yeah.
As far as like what everyone's been playing. I got to play the first. I basically got out of the first area where you sort of that game starts out. Of course, this is Obsidian's brand new Elder Scrolls like game that follows is it Outer Worlds, the last project that they put out?
No, it would have been Pentiment, right? Would have been the last Obsidian.
Okay, yeah.
Or
Pentiment,
no,
you're right.
Pillars of Eternity 2, actually.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, the last, like, I don't know, game in this vein, I think, is Outer Worlds. I guess.
Yes.
I would assume so. But I'm red hot on this game. I just got to the main town. I finished that first, like, entry mission on the island. And I just need to pick everybody's brain on what you guys think of it. Kayla, how much have you gotten a chance to play?
I have not gotten very far. I'm still in that first section. I spent a lot of time creating my character.
Nice.
She's looking real nice. So
What's your backstory? Tell me your backstory.
What's the one? I wrote it down. Hold on. It's the Court Ogre.
Me too.
One.
That's
what I picked. Yes.
Oh,
Get y'all.
See, I would love to be a good mystic. You know what I mean? I want to be the mystic. And then so I spent some time creating my character. Definitely will show some pics. Don't have it right now, but I am still in the beginning. But light spoilers, I'm fine with in the beginning. No problem at all.
Yeah. Patrick, tell us about your experience so far and your character.
I'm about 3 hours in. I was so naughty today. And I played once it hit 1 p.m. until about 4. And so I'm about 2 hours past the opening bit, I would think. Then I'm just running around doing shit. I haven't done the next main quest. I've just been running around exploring, finding little side quests and just doing shit. I am also red hot on this game after 3 hours. In fact, I'm so red hot. I'm like, okay, when's the shoe gonna drop? Like what is it? that is only giving Jerica an 82 on OpenCritic from this game. It might have even dropped since then. I haven't double checked, but I will say a couple things so far that jump out to me, even though they haven't been barriers yet for me, that I could see becoming issues. So far, I don't really like any of the NPCs that I've met, especially the guy that was just on screen, Kai, even though he's voiced by the actor that did Garrus in Mass Effect, so I love to hear his voice again. So far, I'm not vibing with that character much, and it seems like he'll probably be with me for the rest of the game. And also, I am having a tough time getting into this world because they are so deeply connecting it to Pillars of Eternity. Like they, from the jump, they're bringing in lore from those games that I'm like, I got nothing. Now, I will say, I will give them credit that they do this cool thing where whenever there's like a word that has lore to it, you can press X on the Xbox and it'll bring up this little like glossary that'll give you some quick facts about those things. So
it's like the active time lore thing.
Yeah.
I love that part. I was going to mention that. Incredible.
I've been relying on that heavily. But in terms of just gameplay feel, I'm doing a wand and the grimoire book of spells, and I am having such a fun time. It's like, this is in a way kind of what I hoped Hogwarts Legacy would be for me, of like having the wand and throwing spells at people. It's so beautiful. Like the game is so pretty to look at. I'm playing on Xbox Series X. I would love to see this thing on a PC. But yeah, really, when I woke up and saw 82 on OpenCritic, it's a great score, right? But I was hoping that this would break those 9s. But for me, so far, I'm having a 9 experience with this game.
Nope. Sure. Very nice. I echo a lot of what both of you guys have said so far. What I found is that I am not put off by the world being like an already established thing. I am somebody who usually only scrapes the surface of my games anyway. Every single document that I've picked up or term that I've glanced over in that game has been very much I'm sorry that happened to you, or congratulations type moment. I'm not reading all that shit. I'm just going to go make the pretty colors go disappear and smash into this fucking bad guy. But I went completely differently. I made a shorty. She has like coral coming out of her eyebrows and her head. Her name can no longer be pronounced because I was going to call her. I don't want to say it out loud.
You can say it. You can say it.
She's the coral creamstress. And as I was typing it out, I typed coral, and then it suggested to just use the coral emoji. So I was like, okay, yeah, sure. All right. I get it. I can just go ahead and be the coral emoji. And then I submitted that, and it just created like a question mark as the name category. Like it couldn't comprehend that. So now I'm like, nobody really knows my name. They refer to me as question mark symbol. And
she's mysterious.
I like that too. She's mysterious. She goes by many names. Some knew her as the Coral Creamstress, but who will she be? I don't know. Her story is yet to be written. I'm writing it now as we go.
Yeah,
which has been really fun. But I got in there. I really liked Garrick.
Yeah, I hope he comes back.
Gary,
he's cool.
My little blue homie, I liked him so much. I was like on board with him. I was riding with him. He was crazy in the combat. I also took the war hero backstory, and I've been swinging a hammer. I'm going all dexterity. I'm trying to get big, fast swings going on.
Nice.
It's been a pleasure so far. I started with a spear. I moved to a great axe, I think is where I'm sitting right now. And the first skill that I got against like the first like boss, if you will, Patrick, you know what I'm talking about, at the end of like the island area, was so satisfying to use the shield charge, bash into this guy, and then it did this cool thing in the combat where like the shield charge hit and it made the follow-up attacks that I did do different things in like the animation. So I had been using this axe for a little while. I shield bash into him, and then I do these like 2 really gnarly side swipes and then end with like this fucking kick that sends him flying backwards onto the ground, and then Gary comes from off screen and just starts stabbing him with a spear. It was very entertaining to see. I'm liking it. I think I'm gonna have a good time with this game, and it feels like what I was talking about on stream when I was playing it is that I like the size and the scope of this game so far. It got a little bit bigger, obviously, as I left the island and I saw that fucking town, and they just put me all over the place. But there's something about it where like when I go in there, you're expecting like your muscle memory starts to like trigger Skyrim, right?
Yeah.
And you knock down that first soldier and you look at their dead body and you're like, oh, here we go. I'm gonna have to loot their fucking helmet and their arm guards and their fucking boots, and he's gonna have a half-eaten apple on him and 2 pieces of hay and 7 shekels. And I'm like, oh my god, I don't have to fucking loot every single thing. Like, it just feels like it's a streamlined experience. And I think Skyrim more than ever is showing its age. Obviously, I think that goes without saying, but it's nice. It's nice to play this game. I had a very fun time.
Yeah, I will say, I have an inkling that this game is going to be bigger than we expect it to.
Yeah,
because already going into this first world, I'm like, and like this, the way it's one of those, like, the map system is there's like the giant map, and then there's like a map for just this one area that I'm in, and this one area that I'm in is pretty big. And so I'm like, how many of these areas are there going to be? But yeah, I'm so jacked to get back in and keep playing in Avowed. Very pleased so far. For sure. Anybody else have anything they wanted to say about Avowed before we move on? I love it. Probably, I'm assuming you guys will probably touch on that in a bigger way on your respective podcasts. Kayla on JK Games this coming Monday night, and Patrick this coming Tuesday night on Spotlight Games. Very cool. And I will be streaming that game for the foreseeable future over on twitch.tv/JakeTwitchin. Oh yeah,
which I'm excited to do because I think
I'll be here to support everyone.
Also,
what a guy!
Quick plug: there are internal rumblings that Jerica might stream that this weekend on Dido's channel. So
I love it. Yeah, eyes peeled. We only have 8 different accounts plus 2 podcasts, 10 different. Just go follow 10 different accounts on every social media platform, and you will be caught up on everything. Drop in, drop out related, baby. We're ready to go. We're ready to go. Cog, let's move to you since we didn't hear about you on Avowed. You've been playing. Is it early access for this Rift game?
Yes, kind of. So Rift, it's coming out in April, and there's a new demo that they just dropped, I think, at the end of last week. The dev or the publisher, somebody put out a call on Blue Sky about a month and a half ago for playtesters. So I was like, I'm not the biggest like tower defense girly, but this, like, I watched a trailer for it. It looked pretty cool. And so I signed up for it, and I did get to do the playtest, and I was like having an absolute blast. Like, it was so much fun. It was almost how Patrick would talk about Hades 2 at the end of last year of like, if this is early access, what else is there to do? Like, why are you having me play test this perfect game? Like, as far as just like, setting out what they're trying to accomplish. And so I reached back out to him again because at the same time that they dropped this new demo, they also said like, hey, if, for influencers or, content creators, whoever, you can reach out to us at this address, and you can get like basically the influencer version or where they called it, which is even more gameplay than the demo, but not quite the full game yet. So I was like, give me some of that, because like,
hell yeah.
It's tower defense, and it's interdimensional rifts, which is why it's called Rift. I thought it was Rift Raff for the longest time because
it's a terrible name. I think it's such a bad name.
Yeah, but oh my god, the did y'all ever, not Gooner because that's just Jake, but Goner? Did y'all play that game? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's Nar. It's an indie. It's a little real weird, like almost. What is it? Happy Tree Friends? Is that the one that's like really cutesy but also really gory?
Yeah,
they're cute until their heads are being ripped off. Yes,
right. Goner is almost kind of like that, where it's like kind of cutesy but also really violent, and you're like putting on different heads that give you different abilities as you're like firing through this like 2D like bullet hell almost kind of thing. But like a lot of the aesthetic reminds you of that game, and it's these little creatures coming out, but like the sound design is really cool. The music's trippy, and like your little character who's building the towers and setting up the defenses, you're just kind of like making cutesy little sounds to itself as you're going along. And keep your eye on it. Go download the demo. If you have any sort of love for tower defense games at all, please go check this game out. It's probably going to be pretty affordable when it does drop in April anyway. And again, if you are any sort of content creator, then you can on their Steam page, I think, has the link to that new trailer, and you can shoot them an email, shoot your shot, and they seem pretty pretty open to letting people try it out.
Hell yeah.
Nice. And then Cog, we talked about it on, I think, on our first episode. Give us just a quick version, your take, 60 seconds on Eternal Strands.
Yeah, I had not played that game at that time, but now I have.
Yeah.
And I echo a lot of what Jerica had said, but I'm having an absolute blast with it. I know it has like a 74 or something like that on like OpenCritic, and like, yeah, there's a little bit of jank when it comes to the combat and like the movement and stuff like that. But man, like, I love the design of the characters. The combat is fun once you are in the thrill of it. Like once you've got a little bit used to it. The characters are endearing. I'm having a blast. It's going to be one of those 7 out of 10s that you love, like a 10 out of 10 kind of things for me, I can tell. So I'm very much looking forward to continuing. I'm about 7.5 hours in at this point. So I'm spending a lot of time in there lately, and I love it.
Very nice. Very nice. I have been playing just a little bit. It came out yesterday. It was shadow dropped. I wasn't really prepared for it at the time, but I am glad that I jumped in and gave it a shot, because right now there's like an onslaught of games that are starting to come out. But I started in on Warriors Abyss, which is the Dynasty Warriors themed roguelite. And I was pleasantly surprised with the opening of this game. It is somewhat what you'd expect, but it has some really interesting like rhythm mechanics to the way that you do your special moves, where like you have to hold buttons at a certain time frame to have different characters come and attack. But for the most part, this is what it looks like. It's like a Musou, which is like the 1 versus 1,000 Dynasty Warrior style thing that happens that you might or may not enjoy. If you like Hyrule Warriors, maybe you're into it, maybe you're not. But this is kind of like the Hades take on that. It's not a perfect video game, but if any of what I just said sounds appealing to you, I think you should check out the trailer and give this thing a shot. I really, really had a fun time streaming this last night, and I think I'm going to go back to it, which this is a perfect example of like a one and done Jake T game. But surprisingly, I've had a better time than expected. So
I'm getting like a
walk.
lot. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say walk, don't run to Warriors Abyss.
I'm just getting some real strong mobile game vibes from that trailer.
It is a little fucking toxic with that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the game is $25, which I think is fair, but there is a $50 version and an $80 version if you would like to get more fucking purple gems so that you can
Sure.
come faster.
It's not quite time to land the plane yet, Kayla, but you've been playing a game too, right?
Oh yes, absolutely. Which one would
these
you
headphones
like
look so like you're
I'm dropping in, folks. I got the RGB. I'm ready to be a real gamer, which I have been. It's kind of, I know we touched on this before we started, but it's kind of crazy how many games have came out this month alone.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like every single thing we've talked about has came out literally. Like,
and we're not done, folks.
We're not done. I've been playing Civilization 7. It just launched, I think, literally 2 days ago. And I'm let me just kind of preface by saying I'm not like a big into the franchise. I've only ever played starting with the previous one, Civilization 6. There's a lot of negative reviews about this game out right now from the kind of like I would say like the really into Civ players, which there's nothing wrong with having preferences in a game, but some of it looks like a lot of the main complaints are around the UI and the kind of like the graphics that come along with that. But I'm absolutely loving this game. I love Civilization games. It's turn-based strategy, which is my jam. It's beautiful, as you can see from this trailer if you're watching on the video on demand. If not, go check it out. I'm having a blast. There are some enhancements when it comes to this one versus the previous. There are different characters that you can play and kind of pick from. I'm not a true gamer, and I don't know the name of the people that you select. You can select major historical figures to play as your kind of main objective. And then there's different ways that you can win by either winning in like a cultural aspect and kind of like a domination aspect of like defeating the other kind of main pillars in the civilization. And you also advance through different eras of time, which I find very interesting. The inner fantasy like book nerd in me, like really this just kind of like hits that for me. But yeah, I'm having a great time. I've already played like 5 hours of this game.
Cool.
Cool. And I mean, it's like bottomless. It's also fun to play with your friends too. I plan on playing with High School Weekly, who's been active in our chat, and we've played Civ 6 together before. But I believe you can play with up to like 4 or 5 people, and so it's fun to kind of just like, it's a good game to sit back and just like talk to your friends while you play, because it is turn based. So you guys kind of go about your turns and just like wait on the other people. It's a fun time. I recommend it. It is a hefty $70, but so far for me, it's worth it.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
Civ 7 out of 10. Got it.
Yeah, Jake, how's that feeling? Your first pick only getting you 12 points. You doing okay over there?
Yeah, I think I'm okay. Anything that's not a loss is a bonus for me, because I'm going to have some sly picks later on in the year. That's for sure. And I don't know. I think I should have thought a little bit more, because I think the review scores generally for Civ are pretty good, but they're not as high as I thought they were. I think a lot of the times those games kind of come out a little bit underbaked. And like a lot of the comments that I've seen under review threads is like, give it a year, this game will play like a 10 out of 10. Sure. And like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Excellent. But Kayla, you've also been playing a little Freako game.
Yes. I have a certified Cayman dumpster dive.
Ooh.
I have to present to you guys. And listen, and I'm sad he's not here to discuss. We'll have to discuss it at a later time. But let me tell you about this game called A Game About Digging a Hole. You heard me correctly. The game is called A Game About Digging a Hole. Also came out this month. Also absolutely has taken over my life. Like, I started playing this game and could not stop. Like, you know those moments as a gamer that you have where you're like absolutely consumed by a game? This did that for me. It's $5 on Steam. Literally $5, certified dumpster dive. I actually don't know if it's available on other consoles. I would have to fact check that.
I think it's only
Steam only.
Dang, that sucks. But it's really good. It's an indie dev. Cyberwave is who developed the game. The music is very calming. There's like bird chirping sounds. It's a resource management game about literally just digging a hole. And you can go, there is an end. I haven't quite beat it yet because I actually don't want it to end. But I've heard that it's very interesting. But essentially, there's a lot of kind of like back and forth. It seems simple, but there is actually a lot to it. You collect different like ores, think mining from Stardew Valley and various other different games. And you can die and you can hurt yourself, and you have to buy certain things to get more advancements with your shovels. Very fun game, very entertaining. No thoughts, just vibes. And that's all I could ask for.
I had such a weird glitch in the matrix moment with this game, because behind the scenes we have these sites that we can like request keys from in advance, and I came across that game. I was just like scrolling. I was on page like 6, and I saw a game about digging a hole, and I'm texting Cayman. I'm like, man, once we get you a PC, the games on this site that you're going to be able to play, there's one literally called A Game About Digging a Hole. Like this, you're gonna have a fucking blast. And then like 8 hours later in the Discord, people are going off about A Game About Digging a Hole. Kayla's put 6 hours into it. I'm like, what is happening? I thought this game was a joke.
No, it's not.
And it's not.
It's real.
So sick. Hey, let me ask you guys all a question, but I need you guys to answer at the same time. It's going to be a little bit of chaos.
Okay.
All right. Can you feel the love?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Me too. Me too. Chat, can you feel the love? YouTube VOD watchers, can you feel the love? And sweet podcast listeners, can you feel the love? Because I certainly can. It radiates from each and every one of you. This was such a fun little show. Listen, behind the scenes, my little cast here tonight, Kayla, Patrick, CognitiveClips, you guys have been lovely. They were like, hey, we had any idea on time frames for everything? These guys were worried I was about to throw them into a 3.5 hour love fest. They're like, oh no, the Yapper's hosting. What's gonna happen? I put out a doc. Patrick has been the host for our first 2 episodes, and he puts together like a run of show that is like 3 pages long and so specific and so scripted out. And I sent one that was half a page long today with just like some real broad strokes. And I think everybody was like, hey man, you need any help with this? I'm like, nah, doc. We're getting I'm good. In for 8 p.m.
It went well.
It was amazing.
Talking hats. Fun times. I hope that you guys all enjoyed shaking it up a little bit. We have the idea is rotating hosts. Listen, I'll pull no punches. I think Patrick is our strongest host that we have. I'm yet to see everybody host, if I'm being honest as well. But Patrick is very good at what he does. But we sometimes want to give him a little bit of a break. Was it nice not being in the driver's seat tonight, or do you freak out a little bit?
10% freak out, 90% nice.
Very nice. We'll take 90%.
Love the
nice.
honesty. Love
We'll
it.
take
Love is
90%
also
nice.
honesty.
And I mean, listen, these guys must have been a little bit nervous because you guys have never seen me host a podcast. So, you know,
I had faith.
It can be nerve-wracking, but
I had
we
faith
made
as
it
well.
happen.
I had
Yeah,
faith.
and I think everything went well with like, let's a little bit of insight. Let's unpack this just a little bit. The B-roll and everything, I think went pretty well.
I think
Couple
we
little
figured it
hiccups
out
with like the overlay, but
Yeah.
I think it looked good on the back end. Our Twitch chat, our sweet Twitch chat, say hi and bye to us because we love you so much. I think you guys are awesome, and it's so good having that extra input in there. The people that ask questions in the Discord and have kept that alive for the last couple of weeks, so good. We are Drop In, Drop Out Pod on all social networks. Go find us and follow us. Go to www.dropindropoutpod.com to find us everywhere. Patrick, tell us about the things you have going on.
Oh,
on
for
the internet.
sure. Dropindropout.com is going to get you everything, but Spotlight Games, we're covering shit. Next week, I'm going to talk a lot about Avowed. We're going to probably unpack the state of play even more than our bonus drop yesterday. So yeah, Pishwasi, Spotlight Games Pod, but most importantly, dropindropoutpod.com.
Hell yes. Cognitive Clips. Where across the internet do we find you?
Yeah, Cognitive Clips pretty much everywhere. If you're on YouTube, then youtube.com/@cognitive-clips will get you where you need to be.
Love it. Kayla, where can the people find you?
Well, thank you. Jarek and I will be going live on JK Games podcast on Monday evening, typically around 8 p.m. Central Time. But before that, you can definitely check out all of our socials at JK Games Podcast. We will be resurrecting our Clickerbait podcast in the very near future to talk all things The Last of Us. If you're into that, you can follow us over on all socials.
We absolutely love it. You icons, thank you guys so much for joining me on the panel today. Thank you for listening or watching, whether you've chosen to do this live or in the future on other podcast services or on YouTube. We couldn't do it without you. Why don't you all listen to this sweet music and join us again next week? I appreciate each and every one of you. Goodbye.
Bye.